Hey, what's up guys, my name is Jack TechMLP and welcome back to yet another chill stream. In fact, this is actually the 10th chill stream I've done, so that's pretty cool. I find that pretty neat that we've made it all the way to 10. On YouTube, it just says some random date. However, on Twitch, I always name it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on, I'm hearing echo of me. That's weird. Hold on, I don't like that. Bothers me a lot, actually. I don't know what that could be from. So, hold on, let me try putting these on, see if it still does it. Okay, testing. How do I sound on Twitch? Real quick, let me check. Hey, Twitch, thanks for pulling up on my stream. Okay, sounds good, but if my headphones are breaking, I'm gonna be fucking furious. I was waiting months to get these so I could actually start streaming again, and I can barely hear like a little every time I say a word, so that pisses me off. But other than that, we're doing good. I don't know, I just wanted to stream, and also this is during the day, so I actually have natural lighting to where I don't need a big-ass lamp, because that desk lamp is the brightest fucking thing on earth. And if I aim it right at me, it just makes me just pure white, like there's like nothing shows besides the whiteness. Like the whole screen will just become that, and there will be nothing visible. No clue where I'm just got that weird ass like powerful desk lamp. I'm pissed it also broke a while back. I never explained this, but the reason I have to like turn it around and stuff in such a weird way, and I can't like put it up here or something. Well, one, there's nothing next to the ceiling, or two is after using it like the equivalent of 3 times, so it can spin around and up and down, like position it. So I could stick it straight up, I could stick it, turn it around, facing that way, this way, that way, you know. The problem with it is, though, is that the way I was doing it, specifically, how do I put this? Basically, you don't do that no more. The part that spins it around, not up and down, though, to aim it, but the part that spins it around has 3 prongs in it. And, basically, that ain't there anymore. One of the 3 prongs snapped somehow. It must have gotten loose over time, I don't know how, but now there's only 2 left, so I can pop it back into place, but there's nothing holding it there. So I had to spend, like, 2 hours finding strong enough rubber bands and using those to, like, send them up through the hole that was in there. So basically I tied it outside of it and threw it to the inside of the clip, to where now the rubber bands kind of, like, hold it up. Like, they act as the 3rd prong, basically, and I can still, every time I move it, I still have to remove it, but every time I do that, it makes a loud-ass sound as the fucking, I don't want to call it a barrel, but it's not a shade, it's like a big metal rim around the light. It makes the loudest noise, it just hits the fucking wood that's next to. Every fucking night, I'm just like, ding, it sounds like a bell, really obnoxious bell. I'm gonna message Jack real fast, because I just found out, I'm playing Trove in the background, but today is Saturday, so he would be able to do some stuff, so I'm gonna message him real fast. Hey, you can get 10 double experience potions from a dragon in the hub for 3 chaos cores each. Hold on. You can get a double experience potion. 10 potions maximum. I don't want him to think he can get them in bulk, because that's what I was thinking at first, but that's definitely not what's happening, so I don't want to lie to him. Alright, there we go. So I figured out what stream remote on Discord does. It doesn't actually, like, display messages. I didn't know that, because I usually disable it, because I'm not in anything I'm trying to hide or anything. That's because I thought it would pop up like messages on stream for some reason. So I was like, I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't care about this being on or not. But I've realized, though, it's meant for just getting rid of the noise of it for the most part, and that I'm fine with. I like that. I like that being, like, absent, to be honest, because I don't have to worry about checking my messages every few seconds. Also, it also now displays on Twitch if you're live, so people, if they can see you're not responding, can just go, oh hey, he's live, and go see what the hell I'm doing instead of talking to them. not trying to be rude about it, but instead of messaging you like I'm not, and that came out rude. How should I put it? Instead of seeing your message, I'm unable to see it because this is what I'm doing. I'm not actively streaming to like ignore people. I specifically stream at the times when I'm open to do anything. So, like now. It is during the day though, so there might be a couple interruptions, but if so, they'll just be quick and I can just get back to this. Yeah, chill stream 10. I will say it's nice. It feels nice making it this far. I guess I can count it as like a minor milestone. I like looking at it like that. So what I'm going to do in the background is I'm going to do the classic primordial flame mining. It's not for, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to try and get a Draco-Lantern dragon egg for intro. And the reason I'm trying to do that is because I just want to. But second of all, every time I look at that Draco, there's only one in the shop right now, so every time I look at that Draco-Lantern egg, there was 3 the other day, and it was only 350,000 to buy it. And the next one was 450,000, the next one was 450,000, or it was 500k. Well, last night there was only one for 400k, so I was like, great, now they're all sold out. And now there's only one for 500k. So I now have to get double what I originally had to get because, you know, or little over double, but because I already have 200k. Right now I straight up have enough to buy a credit pouch. I'm just waiting because I need to get, you know, all this done. Plus I'm not doing it to get credit pouches this time. I'm just mining away. I could go into a delve and try and get a Titan's treasure because that'll give like 30,000 or like a bulk of Titan's treasure. I could do that real quick. Plus I need to get the remaining despoiled divinity I get of the week, so I could do that. It is Saturday, so the week's gonna reset on Sunday, and I'm busy Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna go do a delve here in a second after I get the 500 from this, because I already had 350, so that won't take too long. Of the primordial flame I'm mining. So I believe last time we made it a lot about, like last time I was streaming, I talked a lot about D&D and magic. Let's see, did I have anything else? I think after I streamed I was like, oh shit, there's something important I was going to add into that. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was a point I brought up that could have been taken as like, could have been unfun in practice, and then I didn't elaborate. Instead I switched topics immediately after that, not thinking about it. At the end of the day, it's all just about having fun for both people, or both the DM and the players. That's what I was trying to go for, but I think, from memory, I think I was like, when I got done, I was like, ooh, maybe I should make a comment saying about this one. I just can't remember which one it was exactly. Because I would be able to bring up the point I was going to bring up after it, but I don't know. It's fine. I'm sorry I'm going quiet. I'm kind of like thinking about in my head like some things I could talk about. I really don't know. It's not that I ran out, it's just I just woke up, the equivalent of 30 minutes ago. Feels a lot less time than that. Feels like 15 minutes, but like I just woke up, haven't eaten breakfast, and yes, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and I consider it breakfast. So, because I mean it is just me going in there and making a bowl of cereal, so I need to do that here in a few minutes. But for now, this is all I'm gonna do. Just mine primordial flame. Then maybe after I stop streaming here in a little bit, I don't have to leave till 5, but I don't know, probably won't be that long. I don't know. Let's have to see. I guess we just talk about life, I guess. I mean, that's a fun thing to talk about. Been having a little bit of a spurt for a bit. I don't know if spurt is the right word. Like, whenever you use the word spurt, it's like growth spurt. That's what I'm kind of trying to compare it to. Like, think of a growth spurt as when things heighten all of a sudden out of nowhere. That's what I'm trying to say. Those negative feelings I was having a few streams back, I explained, like, I don't really know which stream I did, but they've been recently popping back up a little bit, but I've been trying to, like, stay on top of them. Like, I know anything, like, it's weird. The thing that's designed to keep you happy all the time, or I'd hope was designed to keep you happy all the time, is the thing that, you know, is constantly attacking you, and I hate that. Talking about your brain, by the way. It just constantly has to try and put negative things in there, and it's really not. And sometimes that can even affect others, too, and that's not good. I just don't like that. I wish it was designed just to keep you happy, you know? The thing that is meant to keep you alive is the thing that makes you the most self-destructive, and I hate it. Because the thoughts happen up there, you know what I mean? So, I mean, like, it's just, it sucks. But I've been just trying to stay on top of it. That's actually another reason I started streaming. I know I just like being a little open. It's not therapy, but it's like I just say what's on my mind, and it kind of just flows out. Like, I just haven't been feeling good recently. A little bit. I mean, it's been getting ups and downs. Like, I've been good, been bad. Still, I say this year is way better than the past 2 years that have happened, but it's just now instead of outside problems, it's all interior problems, and I don't know what the hell's going on, you know? So I'm just trying to I don't know, just get a good vibe going, get all this grinding done. And then, yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight off stream. I was supposed to, by the way, I forgot to do this, but I was actually going to do on that stream as well. I was going to go through, and I also don't think I had enough time that day for the Pinhead voice lines. I was going to do, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's on my YouTube channel, but, I was going to do every movie license that I've actually played before, so literally everything, I think, besides Amanda, Pig, because Pig's only level 1, but every other fucking movie character. Okay, so I was going to start out with Freddy, then I was going to go to Michael, then I was going to go to Leatherface, then I know I'm forgetting someone, but this was going to be after I did Nemesis and Pinhead, but it was too laggy, so, and maybe Freddy specifically, I can maybe handle the other two with lag, but Freddy specifically already has enough problems with playing as he is, and I like playing Freddy, though. That's the thing. I just don't want lag when doing it, because it makes it incredibly difficult, in my opinion. Like, Freddy needs everything he can get whenever he's playing, so you need more things leaning towards you at the beginning. So a good map, good perks running, because he's a good character. Like, I love playing him, but it's just Dead by Daylight did not port him well. That's actually what I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about going through, like, every licensed chapter and just being like, how well compared to the original source material. And yes, I'd be using the not only Jackie Earle Haley movies, but also the Robert Englund movies in my, like, description of how well they ported them over, because it's not like Jackie Earle Haley didn't do anything like Robert Englund didn't do besides less silly. Even then, there were a couple jokes, but you know what I mean. So I was going to go through, do all those, play them, maybe one match, maybe if I really liked playing the Killer 2 matches. Probably just seen 2 matches of Freddy, I don't know. But I was going to do that, but I didn't have enough time, 2, it was laggy, and also Jack joined me, and I didn't want to bail on him. And so that's what happened there. Maybe that doesn't mean I can't do it in the future, I might do that. But I just don't like the lag that streaming causes me on my Xbox, and only my Xbox. I've been considering, well, one, looking back over through my mods and then doing it, but, I've been considering live streaming Skyrim and going through that, like, from, like an episode kind of thing, episodic, like, 1 to Alduin, and then any mods I have installed, which I'm going to have to go back through my mods and see what I got installed, because I think it's just creature mods, and, see, I don't like live streaming big mod packs, because, I mean, like, I want to give credit to the authors. It's just I don't feel like linking every single mod page in the description every time. I wish I could just flash the mod screen and then just be done with it, but it's just like I feel disrespectful when doing that. I want to give credit where credit is due. So, like, if I do something, a lot of the times it's just 1 mod turned on, or 2, or 3 at most, and then I can just say, here's them. I can just copy and paste those over, which, sure, it's the little things, but also I downloaded those mods 2 years ago, and I think there's one that doesn't even have a mod page anymore, so, like, that's difficult to do. I really want to do that, but also the drive is low because that's hard to do for me, because getting all that done, not easy. Or, not easy, it's time consuming. Ideally, I just live stream the video, and then I hit upload on Twitch after I'm done. That's the better outcome for me. That really is. That's what I want to do. That'd be so easy for me, wouldn't be difficult at all, and I could be happy doing that. But it's just a just a respect for others kind of thing. I was almost at self-respect, but that's not what it is at all. It's respect for the original creators of the mod I'm playing. And it's just simple mods, like, it's stupid mods, or not stupid, but, like, it's, like, mods that are, like, don't really fit, but are made in a way that can barely kind of fit. Like, the Thor hammer mod, just Thor's hammer Mjolnir just floating, or just swinging it around. Literally an Infinity Gauntlet mod by, I believe, the same exact creator, so it's just small things like that, and I think those are the only two, like, bigger ones. The rest of them are all the same guys, creature mods. Also, I think there's one that just lets me be Batman, just to be fun. Like, I can literally just get the bat suit, and that's, or, like, is it called the bat suit? Does he call that the bat suit? He usually just calls things bat and then what they are. Anyways, I get that, and also, like, a little mansion to go chill out at. I tried doing that, and I didn't like the, like, lore behind it, because I actually tried putting in lore, but it was very loose, and I was like, ew, I don't like that. But it wasn't so bad. Anyways, it's just small stuff like that just to dick around and have fun. Oh, I can find Ash vs. Evil Dead's Necronomicon in the fucking... What is the place where you have to go in a soul gym in the Vampire DLC? Wherever that is, it's in there. Soul Karen, I believe, is what it's called. Or Karen, one of the two. Anyways, it's in there. Also, there's a mod I have that lets me be a lich, or basically like a necromancer that can transform into like what the dragon priests look like, but with necromancy. And I really want to try that one. I still never have actually got it done. But it's just small things like that, and I want to go through. I want to give credit where credit is due, though. I guess I could just episode 1 read off all the mods I'm using, and then if I ever add any, which I hate doing whenever I'm in the middle of a, like, not stream, but when I'm in the middle of a game, I don't ever like adding the mods afterwards. If not, how do I put it? If I'm starting with something, I want to end with that exact same list. I don't want to add anything, because then I'll feel like I may have missed something in the past. Like, if I add a new spell book, well, let's say, like, 3 dungeons ago it could have spawned in, you know, and then bam, I missed it already, and then I gotta go find it. I don't like that missed opportunity kind of thing. It's also why I don't install Minecraft mods in already, like, what worlds I've been playing in, especially if they add ores, because I know they're not generated in the area that I've already been in, and all the areas around that I've explored, they don't generate now. And I've always never been fond of that, so, like, once I get my mod list going, it's gonna be that mod list forever. So, in fact, hold on. I'm turning on that laptop right now, because I can modify that while I'm streaming. Oh, shit. Okay, well, that fell. Awkward. You might have saw how dirty my room is, but it's fine. I'm just sitting in a living room. You might have saw the big-ass window, but... Anyways, continuing on, though. Yeah, it's just sitting... I'm kind of balancing this laptop on my knee, so it's kind of awkward. But other than that, it's fine. But as I was saying, though, I can work on the... Okay, so what I'd have to work on... Last time I launched it, because they keep updating it, like, oh my god, stop updating Skyrim. Please, you're breaking everything. Please, Bethesda, you're never gonna see this, but fucking stop. Continuing on, though, there was literally an update, like, yesterday for Xbox and PlayStation, I think, that was fixing, like, an impossible-to-play glitch, because guess what, they broke it. So stop updating the game. Anyways, I had to install this patcher twice now, by the way, because I accidentally let it update after the patcher installed, so the old one didn't work anymore, and I had to install like a 3 GB new patcher. Anyways, I got it patched now. I won't update it again. Hopefully, I'm not gonna try to update it. I think I have it set to where it doesn't update unless it launches, and that's only through Steam. I have a mod manager download, or mod manager that launches it for me. However, when I did that, Sky UI broke. You know, like the core fucking essential mod for Skyrim. So yeah, I need to go through and get Sky UI working again. Once I get that working, I'll be good. Another thing I have to do is make sure I can play that if I ever stream it in window mode, because window mode is what makes it very easy to work with the live stream thing. Because instead I just have to set it to where a button stops my streaming and a button starts my streaming. Actually, preferably only stops, because I don't want to ever just be... I don't know, I don't have anything set up for that to be like... basically just one day you'll just see I go live and it just be the Hindering Spirits map, and then all of a sudden nothing's happening at all. It'll just be like really, really broken noise because the microphone doesn't work on there that well, and neither does the camera. So and the camera ain't on, so it'd just be like you just hear me just typing and shit, and that would just be boring as hell. Maybe game volume if I'm somehow playing a game on there. I hate turning that thing on. Speaking of, I mentioned Hindering Spirits. Monday might be a session. If Ethan specifically can get not work. So he doesn't know his schedule yet, but hopefully, I said that weird, but basically if he doesn't get called in for work, we can do it earlier, and then no one will have a problem with actually showing up. But if not, it's going to be 9:30 on, like, a Monday school night, okay, 2 of the 4 players that will be there, because, the party's split right now, thanks, guys. I know, I'm just kidding, I don't think anyone are going to watch this or see this, but Leon occasionally stays in the streams, but continuing on, though, and it's not their fault, yada yada, I understand, yada yada. Anyways, I'm just kidding, by the way, with all that, but, oh, that's on, hold on. I'm bending down because it's on the floor. It's in a box, it's not picking up just hair and dust off the ground in the fans. I would never do that, but anyways, it's also how I have to carry it places. I just pick up the box, put a pillowcase in between the box and the screen, because I can't shut the screen because the screen's broke, and the hinges, too. That happened the 3rd month of me owning it from Walmart. The fucking screen around, or the panel around the screen started popping out, and to the point where like screws are falling out. So I tried shutting it one last time one day, and it finally just broke that whole ass like plastic around the hinge. So, and I didn't go get it replaced because I was like, oh great, now I gotta go transfer everything I've done on this onto a new one, and I don't want to do that. So I just fucking dealt with it, and I still am dealing with it, so that sucks. I should have just went with the warranty if there was one. My mom said there was one, but we fucking waited months to get this, and she was so fucking inconsistent. Like, I wasn't even sure what fucking store she bought it from at this point. We went to like 6 of them. It was such a clusterfuck. I just didn't believe that there would actually be a way to fix it, so I just dealt with it. God, and that's not when the screen actually broke, because the screen worked then. I was carrying it because I had to like close it half open, put the mouse in between it, because yeah, I had to fucking do that straight up. Like there was it would break if it shut all the way, so I put the mouse in between it. Someone's dog sat on it and fucking pushed down on the mouse, and then broke the whole thing. So that kind of sucks, but it still works. That was years ago. Obviously, like I was playing Siege on it the other day, like Rainbow Six Siege, and completely fine, no lag at all. Actually, Steam is really annoying to launch, because 1, it does this thing where it wants to infinitely do a download loop, so I had to fix that. Then 2, by clearing my download cache and then waiting 10 minutes for it to restart. No, 5, it's usually 5. So waiting that long for Steam to restart. Then I have to do it again. Open Siege, let it finish the download, which takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then I have to wait for Uplay to connect and work, because half the time it doesn't. I fucking hate Uplay. I don't play Siege a lot, by the way. 1, I feel like it brings out the worst in people, including me occasionally. When it doesn't work specifically is the only time I don't get actually mad at the games. I take them very chill. It's when it doesn't work is when I get mad. Because my friends are like, hey, when you joining? And they won't stop saying that, and they know it's going to take me like 40 minutes to get it working. So I need to start, if they're playing a day, they need to let me know ahead of time. Like, hey, this is when I'm going to be open, so I can get it actually started like several hours beforehand. Because then we finally got into a match, right? Well, then it crashed, which this doesn't usually happen. This one was a very rare occurrence. It crashed after waiting like 10 minutes in the lobby. I was the only guy with an hourglass in lobby, and there were people complaining about stuff, and I'm just sitting there not saying anything, obviously, because that's not my problem. And then my screen goes blank. They say they loaded in, so I close it down. I reopen it. One of them gets off, and my game works by the time they got off, and I was like, really? All that work for nothing? And there's not like there's anything else I can do while waiting on. Like, there's nothing else I can really do having that laptop open, so there's no point in even having it open anymore. I've already fixed my Skyrim to what I knew of, and then I've already done everything else, so, like, really, dude? So then I basically just shut it down. There is that Hindering Spirits book I'm still writing, but it's just I'm getting pissed because it's not that I have writer's block because I have everything written out. I just don't want to transfer it all because there's like the equivalent of like 20 quests that I'm putting all in the same book. I know I could release them individually, but I'm not doing that. I'm just putting them all in one book that can be done. Then I have to rework a little bit of the Dungeon of Death. Then I gotta make sure all the items in the game that I homebrewed are in the items section. I'm actually doing that too. Other than that, it's ready. And then I gotta put in art that I made, which I didn't make that much art. It's literally just the 9 table items and then an occasional like picture of Elebron or something. Which that chapter for Elebron, because there's a whole chapter for Elebron, is kind of not done because I'm writing that one from scratch, so that kind of sucks. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I got the toughest ones out of the way, I feel. It's just those toughest ones had less content to deal with than an entire fucking adventure. Such as rip off Storm King's Thunder. By the way, if you ever see me look down like that, I'm checking that laptop to see if everything's going well. Because I know everything's going well, but I can only see like a half of the... 1/4? 1/4 of the screen. I classify that as 1/4. It's almost barely not even 1/4 of the screen, and it's purple and flashing and moving up and down weirdly. Yeah, so I have to be paying attention to make sure nothing's popping up that is like blue screen of death, because then I have to restart. And then, but yeah, the reason I'm not switching the HDMI yet and I'm still playing Trove is because I'm giving it time to wake up. Still giving it time to go. 151 Primordial Flame. I already got 500 earlier. That's why I'm... Well, excuse me, didn't I say I was going to switch to a Xbox game after I was done getting that? I don't remember. It might have been Skyrim. I was talking about how I was going to switch over to Skyrim. I might do that in a second, like plug in the HDMI cord and get... I think I just need to download the new Sky UI, and then, hey, I might just play it in the background while waiting, but it'd be weird to have a laptop here, keyboard here, mouse here, because I can't use the laptop's keyboard that's down there because it's down there, and I'd have to, like... You know that weird pose challenge where the person's ass is in the air and their head's down on the ground, they're, like, heads down like this? Yeah, straight up, that's what I'd have. That's like the actual pose I'd have to do to play that laptop with its keyboard, and the mousepad, trackpad doesn't even work. Also, never play games with trackpad mouse like that. That's terrible. But yeah, that's straight up what I'd have to do. So ever since I got it, I had a really crappy Office keyboard, which I learned what keyboard ghosting is because I got Guitar Hero but Clone Hero on my laptop. Keyboard ghosting is where if you press more than like a certain combination of buttons, it won't register that you hit the other one. Like, you hit, like, 4 different buttons, and then one of them won't register. I learned what that means. So, that's an Office keyboard. So, yeah, I don't have a gaming mouse either. It's basically a gaming mouse that a friend gave to me a couple of years ago off his mom's literal computer. And he was like, yeah, she's getting a new one. Here you go. And I was like, oh, cool. So, yeah. And that was because I was playing it with the trackpad that worked at the time. So, that sucked. Like, that sucked a lot. But either way... That's the setup I got. It works. It's just, it takes time. But hey, I got patience. I got time to wait. It's not like I literally have 3 hours, or well, 2 hours almost. It's 10 minutes into 3, and then 2 hours into 5. I have time. That's all that matters. I really hope it's as simple. It's never that fucking simple. There's gonna be something else besides Sky UI that I'm gonna have to download. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that Skyrim patcher? Skyrim opens just fine, by the way. That game runs flawlessly at maximum graphics. There's not a single issue. Like, that computer actually has some power to it. It's just fuck. Anyways, that actually opens really fast, though. But the problem with it is, though, Sky UI is not going to be the only problem. Oh, that patcher is like, it took like the equivalent of 7 hours for that 3 gigabyte patcher to download on that laptop. Also, to be fair, that isn't the laptop's fault, really. Or more my Wi-Fi, and also the fact that Nexus Mod Manager, unless you pay money, slows your download speed. I really wish there might be another website to download that patcher from, but if there is, I really hope there is. Like, seriously. That is a little annoying. But I deal with it because that's what I have available to me, and I'm fine with that. Oh, I think I remember the D&D topic I was going to bring up. It was like an anti-piracy thing, but it was something to do with, I think I was just going to say, like, oh, I mentioned D&D Beyond is not a good place to go. This is one of them. D&D Beyond's a good place to go. That has a lot of official source material for free. Like, that's... I meant D&D Beyond is not a good place to go for homebrew, in my opinion. Because it's just, like... Okay, you could find one thing at a time. It's never bulked up in one big place to go, like one big PDF that has, like, multiple pages. It's all very separate, it's all very distant, and it can be... It's like the mystery box in Call of Duty Black Ops. You could find gold, like the ray gun, or thunder gun, because Black Ops 1 is when I first started, so I mean, like, you could find gold and get a wonder weapon, or you could just get a sniper. So, and if you don't know what that means, I feel like I'm like one of those old men that's trying to use, like, sports metaphors or fishing metaphors by saying it like that, but here's what I mean. You'll either find a really good subclass for, like, Ranger, which makes Ranger the most, like, balanced class in the game, because, you know, Ranger, as it is, kind of isn't the best, isn't the worst. Or you could find something that's barely even legible, because you can publish anything on there. I could even publish stuff on there if I wanted to right now. Literally anyone with an account can just make something and hit enter. There's nothing else. So you could find something that's written by a guy who just started. That isn't... It's not to trash that person, but also if you see something with, like, 30 AC and, like, 96 hit points, and then, like, power word kill as its only spell, and does, like, 30 d10 by attacking, and has a plus 60 to hit, and then only has a walk speed of 15, has a fly speed of 30, specifically immunity to, like, fire. Like, that's so specific, and there's a lot of those. I'm speaking from experience here from that. Maybe that creature exactly is not on there, but it's still... That's a lot of the creatures you find. Like, I'm looking for a lot of creatures to throw at my players. I never really go to D&D Beyond for it. While it could be easier to do that, because like I said, they're all categorized by even, like, CR and stuff. They're very specific with what you can search for. It's been the one I've went to the least, and I've found things in other people's homebrews way easier. But do not give up on that resource as a potential option if you're lacking in other places. I should have said that in the previous video. Or live stream, instead of just being like, yeah, I don't think D&D Beyond's a good place to go. Like, it's an amazing place to make character sheets and stuff. It's like, by the way, I prefer making character sheets not in paper but over PDF. Just get a blank character sheet. They're way more customizable, and yeah, it takes more time to do. But once you're an experienced player, I am full belief that you should not be doing it over... Now, you can do it over paper if it's in-person games, but also I prefer just PDF, because if you have access to internet, it's way, way, way easier to just send your DM a copy of the new PDF, which, yeah, sure, it can get a little bit cluttery, but at the same time, they can just delete the old one, install the new one, and be like, oh, okay, cool. And the reason I say that, or maybe even a Google Drive document you can update and stuff, like, that I feel is the superior way, in my opinion, because... D&D Beyond doesn't let you really customize... Well, one, D&D Beyond only lets you use stuff that's official, and sure, you can use homebrew stuff, but at the same time, it's never implemented right. I've never seen a single time. Like, Tucker ended up playing a homebrew class, but it wasn't on D&D Beyond, so what he had to do instead was he had to use a different race that he is not playing to use the race that he's wanting to play, and I hate that. I've always hated that. I hate looking at it, no offense, Tucker, but goddamn, I don't like that. It's like, I just like, ugh, because it's going to give you, since the race is slightly different, there's going to be some sort of stat that's a little higher than it should be, and it's going to be different from the actual thing, and then you got to put it in some weird random place, like the notes backstory area on the PDF, which a PDF with, like, 2 extra blank pages is, to write down anything else extra you need, is perfect for me. Literally a Google document with, like, formatted like a character sheet is perfect in my opinion. That is the peak of making a character sheet. Coming from a DM, looking at it, because you can write everything there, backstory, and you can be as big as you want with it. There's no limited space, because D&D Beyond, you always got, like, the very, like, big ass text, and even some PDFs, you got, like, a really, like, tiny lettering, because you fit so many in one section, because there's no other place to put it. So, I really believe, online, really best way to go on those. I don't know why I'm so big on that. I really don't. I just feel like it gives you the room to do whatever you need. Sure, it takes longer, but also I kind of like people having to go through and be very personal with what they're making, and not just let some random number crunching website do it all for you, you know, and do all the data yourself, like rolling the stats and stuff. Like, it's just way easier, in my opinion. to use D&D Beyond or another website like OrgPub or something. But I just really like the paper, and I'm saying paper because like in person usually it's paper, but I really like PDF as well. I don't know. And I'm totally fine with paper too, because you can technically write anything on paper as well, and just send anything like backstory online, or even write out the backstory on paper. Never hand me a backstory on paper. Don't do that. That's gonna take. Don't do that. Just verbally say it. I like. I do not have a personal folder for D&D anymore, or at least my campaigns I ran. I had a folder of homebrew stuff somewhere. It's still somewhere, sitting somewhere, but that was the only folder I had. So, like, very rarely, I'll be like, hey, write your entire backstory on paper. I'm never going to suggest that. I'll take it if you did it, but I'm going to be like, okay. I mean, if that's all you have available to you, that's different. But, like, if not, don't do that. Especially if it's long. If it's short and, like, a paragraph, that's fine. But, like, if it's, like, a book, a physical book, okay, it's more if it's a physical book and you want me to read it. If you're just writing that down, like, you do you, but, like, coming from a DM standpoint, I have other things to worry about, like making the actual world you're going to be playing in, than doing that. Not to be rude. I totally will read it if it's, like, in another format, but I personally don't want to just have to pick up a book, flip through it to, like, understand your character, like. Plus, well, then again, I'm also the very, like, kind of a DM that likes talking with someone as they're writing their backstory. That way I know, one, it fits with the world, because I've had times where, for example, Jack and Enduring Spirits, the campaign we run on live streams occasionally, wrote that his dad was a king. So I made him the king. Or I made his dad the king of, like, the one king I actually had worked on at the time, not knowing that Jack said that he was an abuser, and his backstory, and, like, all these negative things. So it was like, oh shit, this guy was actually supposed to be the chillest king in the planet, because he was the one that wasn't, like, the only one that wasn't at war with everyone else. He's, like, the one that dictates the other ones that are at war. And I'm like, oh shit. Can't go back now. So, especially when Jack slapped him on stream, which I'll stand by that. I'm just going to retcon that to basically say, oh, the only reason he didn't have the guards go after him is trying to protect his image or something. Because, you know. But still. Either way, though, also, I think I mentioned this in previous streams, but just remove the fact that Jack's dad was at the Sandstone Scuffle live stream, because, like, that was just a clusterfuck, and the stream was perfect, in my opinion, besides literally that one thing at the end. Also, if the live stream lags, there's someone using the microwave, so that happens. Sorry. My microwave is an EMP device. Anytime it's turned on, it's all super loud, but it literally sabotages all electronics in the area. Sometimes completely disconnecting them from Wi-Fi. It's crazy. But anyways, as I was saying, where was I at? But yeah, like, definitely make sure you get every bit of your players' backstories, because Jax wasn't that big, actually. It's just somehow I didn't catch that his dad was super, 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 super evil. So, which I did eventually make a NPC. It was Netheril, if any of you have seen that. I'm not going to go into details, but basically, I did make an evil NPC son that came up and said, hey, you're a terrible person, thanks for leaving me behind, yada, yada, yada. But also, that was, like, way, way, like, out there. That wasn't at the beginning. That wasn't near the beginning at all. And that king basically became, like, he wasn't gonna be, at no point in story planning was he actually gonna be essential to the, like, war plot. But he could have been at least consulted about it, ideally. But now, after that happened, I was like, okay, so that is completely cut off as a resource. Can't do anything about it now. You know what I mean? So it just turned into a lot of, like, awkward situations of, like, when Jack was, like, trying to fix up the city, it was like, oh, well, you're not 18 yet, because apparently you're not a certain age yet. And this is totally a thing kings did back in the day. If the prince wasn't of age, they had royal advisors do it. And I didn't want to do that, but I was like, hey, that actually makes sense to do. Like, I'm not trying to do it because I just don't want Jack to have all that, but it's just like, so whenever you turn a certain age, that's when you'll have access to all this. After his dad disappeared. But continuing on, though, not disappeared. I'm pretty sure Netheril killed him, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember how he died, but he died. At the end of the day, though, that whole arc was just weird because I didn't plan for it, and then it was like just awkward for me to run. Not that I was recoverable though. I feel like I recovered it at the best I could, and I did well enough with it. No shade towards Jack. Like, I'm not throwing like saying Jack, your backstory sucked and it caused problems. It didn't. It really didn't. It was good. I worked with it, and just was technical. It shouldn't have been as big as the thing as it was for me to have to like retcon, but at the same time, it was like, oh, okay, that's gonna suck now. Because if there was any potential with that character, now it's not. He's just known as a shitbag now, and there's nothing really to go off of for it. So, I don't know. It just kind of, like, sucked at the end of the day. I was just like, huh. It just kind of sucked at the end of the day. I don't really know what else. But, if you hear people in the background, there are people in the kitchen. I can't do anything about that. I don't live alone. Also, that's why I don't live stream during the day. But either way, though, that laptop is almost... Oh, sorry, Discord opened up on that laptop, and I looked, and I was like, shit, there's a big black, like, and I don't know if it's gray or not. I was like, there's a big gray screen, or there's something covering what was there, so that could be the blue screen of death, which it doesn't ever do. It's just, I have to know if it does, because then I have to restart all that. Like, it's ready. I can do it now. I'm just finishing up. There's a lot of primordial flame in the cave I just found. So, like, I'm just finishing up mining this, then I'm going to open it, and I'm going to switch the HDMI cords on my TV. Which I hate that I have to do. I wish I had a remote for it, but or I wish that there used to be a thing where you could just plug in things to your Xbox, and then you could just open it up the app through the Xbox. But that isn't a thing anymore, or I couldn't figure out how to do it with my laptop, so that kind of sucked. Because I could just turn on my laptop and never have to worry about getting up to switch the HDMI cord. But it's fine. It's fine. This TV actually sucks, by the way. It didn't work for like 2 years, and then I plugged it in and it works. It's very weird with electricity, and I'm very convinced it's like, might be a fire hazard at this point, because it does not work correctly. Like, for example, it can only work on one outlet in the house. 2, whenever my Xbox turns on, connected to the same outlet, it turns on too. It like weirdly acts up, and then sometimes it won't turn on, and I have to hold the power button down for it to like refresh its like internals. Bugs ate it up in the inside. That's what happened a while back, but then, what's the other problem? Oh, there's no volume up button. There is a volume down button. The only way I figured out eventually how to turn up my volume was sticking a pencil or a paper clip in there. I can't remember which one it was. And then I can do it like that, but very iffy in results. So it's at like 5 right now, and if I ever turn it down, which I never will, but if it happens, I can't turn it back up unless I have a paper clip on me, and I haven't done that in a long time. Then after that, what else is there? Really, it's just that, but like the fact that it would not work for like 2 years, or not 2 years, 2 months, and then I just tried plugging it in and it worked, shocked me. Like, not literally shocked me, but like, in my head I was like, holy shit, that worked. Like, I did not expect that to work at all. Like, if I had done any modifications to it, I would very much compare it to Redneck Engineering, but instead I just plugged it into like the surge protector in the same outlet that I used it before, and it worked just fine. It can work in other outlets, but it's like a very low chance. If this thing ever gets unplugged, it's basically considered dead to me, because it won't work unless I fuck with it for the equivalent of like an hour and a half to get it to work again. It's on its last leg. I need to get a new TV, but this TV also counts as a monitor too. It's both a mixture of TV and monitor, because it has the stuff for the high-end computers, but it also has, it's not even like, no, it's not even high-end. It has the stuff for a normal computer and has the stuff for HDMI cables. It is a TV monitor mix, and I don't use any of the computer cables because I don't actually have like a tower for it, but it works for what I need it for. It's fine. I'm happy. I just wish it had, well, I would say I wish I had 2 HDMI spots, so I can plug in both and just have to like touch the top of it to do the buttons. But at the same time, I already told you those buttons don't work very well, because that button that I mentioned that lost, my mom broke when she was trying to turn it up one time. So yeah, it's not, it's very like, I'd call it junk, honestly. It's, or jank. I mean, junk is a good word too, but it's very janky. It's very 50-50 on anything I'm trying will actually work or not. So I have to just deal with what I do have to work with it. So I'm good. I'm happy it works. Everything about it works just fine, and I don't have to worry about anything. So, but also I've had other things, other pieces of equipment that I'm literally looking at right now, i.e. my laptop, that has done the same thing, where it just took like a month break, or no, it was like a week, where it just would not turn on, and it would just be the screen, or the back of the screen, just being, purple. That was before the screen actually broke, too. So it would just sit there trying to turn on, but it wouldn't. So I literally just went to my mom, like, hey, it finally crapped the bed. I need a new one. Like, I really do. I got nothing else here. Like, I have my Xbox that also would barely turn on. I think lightning struck the house, because that's what I was using that Xbox and that TV together, and then one day they both just really started working very weirdly, and sometimes my Xbox would turn off in specific loading screens. Like, if the Xbox, like, it was like the fans weren't working occasionally, if it had too much power to it, like in like processing, it would not work. So there's a good example. That's what I mean. I just mean like they would not work. They would not turn on the game. It would turn off on me mid-game, you know. So I think that had to be what happened. Anyway, since I got a new Xbox, it's fine. But that laptop took a week break, and that was during when my Xbox also wasn't working. So literally every piece of technology just broke on me all at once, and I'm just sitting there like, I didn't have internet at the time either, so it was just like sitting there just like, what now? Actually, at the time I had a phone with Dokkan and Legends on it, and that's all I could play. I was like, I also downloaded like a 7 Deadly Sins game and got like some Attack on Titan characters, but that's about all that I could do. And I was just like, wow, this kinda sucks. That's also how I would install Minecraft mods whenever I was doing it, because I got the laptop, downloaded Minecraft, downloaded a few mods, but then I found out I had this flash drive that could connect to my phone and transfer data without plugging into it. It was like over Bluetooth, so I did that, and I got mods for the edition I was running, because I installed Forge and Minecraft, and then stopped at my uncle's house at now, but at the time I wasn't here. So what I did was I would just install the mods on the flash drive, or on my phone, put them on the flash drive, delete them off my phone, plug them into my laptop, download them, play them, and just enjoy that, because actually it was really fun. Like, that worked for so long. I didn't have Skyrim at the time. I didn't Skyrim until I started living with my uncle, but because it was in a really good deal for like with Oblivion and Morrowind, and I think the multiple like the Elder Scroll games before them, I think they were free, like Daggerfall and I believe Arena. Is Arena the old one? Blades? Is Blades the mobile game? I don't know. I don't have the mobile game, obviously. I don't have a phone to play it on, but I did also get Elder Scrolls Online, and I technically have Fallout Shelter installed, even though it's technically a mobile game, but I have it on my Xbox, and I have that on my computer. I remember I'd play that on my Nana's tablet, and I'd have mods for Fallout Shelter installed. So I'd make like random characters that should not have been made. Like, and it was neat. I liked it. Like, should not have been able to be made, like maximum stats, like infinite bottle caps and stuff, and that was fun. I like that. It's like having an action it's like after you beat a game and you go back and use cheats, because I definitely played a lot of Fallout Shelter without the mods, and then I loaded them all up, and then, or they weren't mods, it was just like, it's like having an action replay in an old Pokemon game after you've played it for 300 hours, you know what I mean? Like, after you beat it, after you've gotten all the Pokemon you want, you're happy, then you go back through with an action replay and see all the fun you did. Like, I had played this Mario game on my original, like, I had an original Nintendo DS, and I eventually got a 3DS, but I don't remember what happened to the old DS, but, it was I had New Super Mario Brothers, which, that was a really fun game. Also, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story was an amazing game. Favorite DS game of all time right there. But continuing on, though, if you hear a dog in the background, there's one walking over. Anyways, what was I saying, though, about that? New Super Mario Brothers. I had played that for as much as I could. Also, I loved the mini games in that game. It had, like, the Luigi poker thing. It had, like, some of it became memes over time, but I really liked those. Continuing on, though, there was one cheat I found on the action replay that I just loved, because I also loved the song for it at the time, and I didn't realize that, I mean, I knew that was the only way to get the song, was just infinite star, like the infinite star power, where you get the star and it goes dun, 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 you know what I'm talking about, and you're invincible. Well, I just run through levels like that, just infinite star power, and it was really fun. I also didn't know about the Luigi, the option to play as Luigi, until I had gotten the action replay and messed around on the internet for a bit and figured out what the cheat code combo was for it without having the action replay, and I was like, oh shit, I can just play as Luigi, and I never knew that when I actually went through and played the whole game. I also didn't know how to get to the bottom islands, because there was like on the roadmap, on the bottom of the map, you could see where you could teleport to continue on with the levels, and I didn't know how to access the bottom islands, so I finally looked up how to do it, and then I did it in game, and then I eventually had the whole game unlocked, and then I got the action replay and was like, we'll mess around with that for a bit. I like the action replay, I just never knew how to download the codes to it, so if I remember correctly, I had one I had to do a whole bunch of numbers and letters in a very individual method. I think it came with some cheats, but I didn't know how to activate them because I was dumb. It basically was like you had a list of games that it had cheats for, and then you had to open them up. But instead, I would just type the codes in individually or something after looking them up, and it took a long time. There were like at least 60 like numbers and letters, and you had to get the sequence right, otherwise it wouldn't give you the right code or it just wouldn't give you anything. So I remember doing it, messing up a couple times, and being like, okay, I guess that code just doesn't work, or I think some of them just expired or something. I don't know what they did, but they did something to where it was just like, okay, that's just not going to work, and then I had to give up on a couple of them. But there were some that just made like shiny Pokemon that I didn't know existed. I never caught a shiny when playing Soul Silver. That was the Pokemon game I had. Favorite Pokemon game of all time, by the way, right there. But I never caught a shiny, or that I knew of, and I didn't realize I must have if I did. And whenever I got the action replay, I was like, oh, pink Lugia? Nice. You know what I mean? So that's what I just went through and got on the action replay. I was just like, okay, this is just opening stuff that because I had already reached peak, or what I thought was the peak, it opened up a lot of opportunities for me to enjoy the games that I already liked. And that's another reason I'm so big about modding, in my opinion. Like, I love modding community. The modding community keeps games alive for like way longer than it should. Actually, no. The two games I'm thinking of are Minecraft and Skyrim, and those games, they don't need to die off anytime, like ever. They can just be eternally cemented in just gaming in general. But like the modding community keeps those things fucking alive and afloat. But also shout out to like PayPal specifically and Nexus mods. And the reason that sounds weird for me to say those two specifically, but for having the most stupidest password requirements I've ever seen, because I always forget what password I made, and then I have to spend like, and that laptop sucks with Google, so I have to open up Google, go through and change it all, then go through and try it again, and then PayPal literally locked me out after I reset the password. It was like, you tried putting in the wrong password too much. I'm like, really, dude? You could just let me fucking in the first time instead of having to mean, like, I really don't even remember what password I have on it right now for either of them. I think Nexus Mod just requires a capital letter, but I have one universal password for everything. I know that's weird to say, but like, I do. It's incredibly long. I hate having to type it because it's at least 25 letters. Some websites lock how many letters you can have in your password too, by the way, which is ridiculous. I think PayPal does it. That's ridiculous. If you want a secure password, it should be as long as you fucking want. And it's because I'm tired of people hacking my stuff and getting in, or some website getting compromised and my password getting leaked. So I've been very careful in what. If it's a website I don't care, I use the old password that did get compromised. So if someone could get in there, they could just be like, "Oh, haha, I downloaded a Skyrim mod." So like, I don't use my genuine password on websites I don't like, or can do, because apparently, PayPal doesn't let you use a long password, or I think it's PayPal, but specifically I can't use it. So, and it's not the same one that got compromised either, because there was one that got compromised, and there's some websites that's just like, you need to change your password on an old Club Penguin account. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel like logging into there because there's no point. What are they gonna do? Oh no, they know my email. Obviously, they got my fucking password for it, and I've already changed it, so, like, there's no fucking point to change it at that point. It's not like I'm ever going to use the app that it's telling me to change it again. So, it's just awkward. Oh no, you found the password for my old fucking fanfiction account. Oh god, no. I wrote so many. I did actually write 2 fanfiction things, but I think I took them down. I privated them finally, so that's good. But I'm not going to say where, not going to say when. I was young, so I can actually say when. It was like pre-middle school, so It wasn't anything cringy, but it was still like, nope, not messing with that. I want to bring up the idea real quick about D&D and writing, being a DM. I'm not the kind of DM who just makes a story that I get pissed if the players tweak. Like if I very much make my stories open-ended for the players, which is really weird because when I go back and write the notes, I leave the players out, or I don't leave the players out, but I just say this event happened. This event happened. I'm not doing that because I don't like the players. It's just I want to make sure, like I point out, I don't view myself as that kind of DM who's like, if I want to write a book, I just be a dungeon master because I don't want to write a book. I like telling stories. I do like doing that. However, they're very open-ended how they go. There's very few where I'll be like, look, this one kind of does need to sway towards this a little bit, but I also don't throw those ones at the people I know will. I'm not saying I railroad, but I'm saying I kind of gotten good at predicting how they play at this point, not in a negative way. I've been DMing for them for almost 5 years now, so I can actually confidently say I know how they play most of the time. Of course, any one time they can change their they can change their decision, but I'm not that kind of DM who's like, I want to write a story. I know I am that kind. I just don't want to like write a book about it, you know. Even though I'm publishing my DM notes, that's not what I mean. I mean like, I don't want to just write a fantasy novel. Instead, I'm writing something that the players can be intrigued in. Then the stats for that said intriguing thing, and I can be done with it at the end of the day. It's not like, I don't know. Another thing I wanted to bring up, like, when I live stream, I just started doing that for fun because my channel didn't have any content on it, and this is the D&D live stream specifically, not like this one I'm doing now. But a lot of people could look at it and be like, oh, you're just trying to be like the other big streamers. No one's ever done this, by the way, but it's just like, literally, if I ever have something that is even slightly similar to something that, let's say, Critical Role or any other streamers do, I've never seen any. I've done everything without only seeing, okay, I did actually watch the equivalent of like 8 episodes of the Yogscast D&D stream. It was the Lightfall campaign. I've seen about 8 to 14 episodes in that when I first started. And I mentioned there was a player character I based off of them for, but nothing else. Also, I'd run the first dungeon they did for some people at the D4, which is what we call it, our group at school. It was like Dungeons, Dice, Dragons, and Decks. Now, obviously, Dungeons and Dragons were together, but I don't remember the exact order they were in. Anyway, so I would run that. I would actually steal that one adventure from them to open as a starting adventure for everyone to meet instead of putting everyone in a goddamn tavern. So, which I didn't know was a trend at that point for the tavern thing, but at my first campaign, I literally didn't even do that, so I'm happy enough to say, hey, I didn't fuck up there. Continuing on, though, like, actually, I don't think there's ever a campaign I ran where everyone's met in a tavern. Not even kidding. Let me go back and think. So I did the Lightfall. I stole the one from the Lightfall. There was a fighting ring in Hidden Spirits that they all met at. Dragon Ball Z D&D, they all kind of just met each other in the woods. That Fantasy High one they made me run was obviously at school. Several one-shots. I think the Sandstone one-shot, and also I think the one-shots they meet in taverns, but literally it's only the one. There's also one-shot that was just the Battle Royale on what we call Koala Island, so that was, I've already explained that in a previous stream, but that's different obviously because they just find themselves in the woods. Yeah, I don't do taverns a lot. I'm very proud to say that, and I've never done that. I guess I was just more creative than that at the beginning, but continuing on though, in the first campaign definitely, or the next campaign I run definitely won't be in a tavern either. I already know the start, so I'm pretty consistent about that. But if I ever do something besides that one time I was using the Lightfall campaign one, I don't do that anymore, by the way, but besides that one thing I was doing, if I ever do something that's similar to a streamer, or now I will say I did steal, in Hindering Spirits right now, Tucker's hand is turning purple and his entire body is. It's something different from the Dingo Doodles thing, because Dingo Doodles did this thing where her monkey character is growing like a crocodile hand and using wild magic off of it. I actually was going to make Tucker use wild magic, but at the same time that would just be ripping off Dingo Doodles, so there's something else planned. I'm not going to say what here, just in case Leon's lurking. Hi, Leon, if you're here, but if not, anyways, also I want it to be a surprise when it does happen, because point is, I didn't just completely rip that off. I had an idea of what I wanted to do with it, because that actually is just a good thing to use, but Okay, I'm just gonna say it now. I'm just gonna finish up and say it. If I ever copy something exactly like this encounter is strangely like that, I've never watched Critical Role. I've tried watching the first episode the equivalent of 3 different times, months apart, and I never got past it. It's not because I don't like it, it's just because I don't want to go, I don't have the time to go through all of it. Also, I'm very worried about the thing known as the Matt Mercer effect sitting in, that I will start changing my DM style to be more. Now, I'm sure I could pick up actual, like, useful tips and tricks from him. Like, I've seen videos of his where he's like, here's how to be a useful DM, or actually a good DM, and I've watched those. I have watched those, and I can't think of an actual thing I directly follow from those. I just do my own thing, and it works. Not to say what he said was bad, I just don't remember. I physically cannot remember what he, or literally just cannot remember what he was saying in those videos, or any other videos. So if I ever directly copy something, it was completely unintentional. I will let everyone know when I start campaign 1 or Critical Role, because that's where I'm going to start. Obviously go 1, 2, 3, I think, because I think they're on 3 now. So I just wanted to say that real quick, because I'm not trying to I'm not trying to separate myself from someone else. I'm just saying, like, if you ever notice that, it is never intentional. I wouldn't, like, I do occasionally, like, take things from other things, like, if I watch a show that has, like, a really cool creature, I'll put it in D&D and then have them fight it one time for 1 week, and then the end. But, and that's just for inspiration stuff for a lot of it, but it works sometimes. That doesn't mean I'm going to steal other people's creative ideas for, like, other dungeon masters and throw them in, and then not have my own twist on it. Because if I'm going to steal 100%, there's no point of me even running it, because it's all been done before and already been seen. So there's no point of me running it, at least on stream. Maybe for the players, yes, because they may not have seen it, or maybe they like the little twist I put in, if I do put one in. But if I don't, if it's just a copy and paste of what was already out there, there's no point to run it, in my opinion, like on stream specifically. Now, sure, some things can fall into tropes, like, oh, this evil wizard is doing things, party go stop them, the end. But there's so many intricate twists and turns in there of my own design that I put in there to customize it in my own way. Tropes are going to happen in everywhere you go. Literally everywhere you go, there will be something. There's no uniqueness. There might be the end result may be unique, but there's going to be something in a story that has been told in another story somewhere else. That is always going to happen. It's about the extra fine details you throw in there that actually make it a story, like an actual good story. That's what draws you to it. That may be the characters, that may be the overall plot. Like, you may hate the characters, but really like where the story's going. Like, and that might be the whole point of the story, too. It really just depends on what it is. And I like running things like that. I like running things in that way just to make it to where I like giving the people a reason to come back the next week. Even though I know they will, preferably, if they have the time, obviously. I've never really had scheduling conflict problems. I'll tell you about that in a minute, though, but, like, I don't want people coming back just because I'm the DM. I want people to come back because they're enjoying what I'm making. But it is also very, I guess the word would be flattering that they do come back just because I'm the DM. But continuing on, though, because the players do that. I'm not talking about people on stream, by the way, but I also want to give people on stream a reason to come back the next week, because that's, you know, how you keep a stream going, a campaign stream going. But I need to start doing that with overarching plots instead of just, like, something bad happens at the end of the stream, they fix it in the next stream, then again, repeat. But what was I going to say, though? Shit, I actually had a really good point I was going to bring up. I don't remember what it was now. Damn it. Let me try going back and retrace my steps. I want people to come back the next week. Live stream campaign. I don't know. I don't know where I was going to go. I think I said it and then didn't go back to it. Use your imagination. I don't know. I apologize. That happens occasionally. Head empty. No brain. Brain off. Head empty. No think. That happened occasionally. God, I fucked that up. That happens occasionally. I was doing that broken speak as a joke, and then that happened. Speaking of happening, I'm going to check my primordial flame again, and then if it's at, like, 300... It's at 710. Jesus Christ, I've been talking for a long time, apparently. Okay. It's a little more than I thought I had. Let's go ahead and sell 500. I haven't actually been getting sales recently, so that kind of sucks. But hey, I know they'll sell eventually. 50,000. They slow seller. They sell slower, but anyways, they sell slower, but I get the actual get payout out of it. Oh, I also want to say, this is the other part I was going to bring up. I'm not live streaming because I want to be like the next Critical Role or anything. I saw like an RPG Horror Stories post about how that guy was, or the guy in said post was wanting to be one, like the next one. I did it because I was bored. I did not do it to get successful. I did not do it because I wanted to capitalize on the profits. I don't think I've made a single cent, and I still don't think I ever probably will off any of the videos I've made D&D related. And that's not what I do it for. I do it for fun, I do it for enjoyment, and also to actually get some content on my channel. But still, I enjoy what I do. I'm doing it for complete fun. I'm not doing it to make money. Now, if I do start making money off of it, I will be hella happy. Yeah, but that's not what the point of it was. I mean, like, in the beginning. And I'm not going to just shift tones because I'm making money off of it. It's still going to be the exact same. I do it because I just want to. It was never about trying to be like something else. It was never about trying to be bigger than just me and a group of, I think, 6 friends currently. It's swapped out a little bit, but a group of 6 friends just in the beginning having fun. Alright, my leg's falling asleep, so I'm going to stop Trove. Hold on, I'm going to switch the HDMI cord. So, give me a second. Also, another problem with the power issue, you'll be able to hear me, not see me. Another problem with the power issue of the Xbox and TV is, I'm sitting down for a second because I gotta let my leg wake up, even though I literally just have to stand up and not even take a step. Another issue with the power cable and the TV issue is mainly the fact that, if I turn off the Xbox, the TV turns off too, and then will be iffy to turn back on unless the Xbox on. So let's see how badly we gotta work on that. Okay. Sometimes it won't turn off though. I'll be lucky. Nope, it turned off. Okay, turn back on. Okay, it did. We're good. That issue rarely arises, but not all the time. Okay, now let me get the keyboard and mouse set up. Oh, it also does this thing occasionally where right after I plug in the HDMI cord, it takes a minute to recognize that I actually plugged it in. But also, I might as well check that I plugged it in all the way, because I apparently did not do that so well last time I did this. No, it's in all the way. Make sure it's down here. It's good? Yeah, it's good. Okay, there we go. It wasn't anything down there, but... Get your $10 Epic Games coupon. No. Fortnite Green Goblin. Okay, that's interesting. I like Green Goblin, but I'm not gonna play Fortnite. Didn't play it for Spider-Man, not gonna play it for Green Goblin. Kinda pissed that when I got Venom, it was the comic version of Venom and not the movie version of Venom, and then they dropped the movie version of Venom right after. So, never been happy about that, and yeah, it kinda got me to stay away from Fortnite after that. Did I play Fortnite a bit? Yes, I did. I got Ghost Rider, and that's who I play now. Let's see. I'm gonna close Discord, which I see I have a message from Jack, and I believe my friend Leo as well. I will be answering those later, because if I open it on this laptop, it's not gonna work, and I'm gonna crash. Oh, Phasmophobia streams, by the way. I can start doing those again. I'm considering doing one of those, maybe even tonight. I don't know. We'll have to see. I hate opening Streamlabs on either of these computers, because once I open... I think I mentioned this in a previous stream. I'm going to bring it up here again. Open it up here. It senses these. Then I open it up here. It goes... like it jumbles up the code for this for some reason. It doesn't transfer that it's the same fucking device. Like, it'll just be a random bunch of numbers instead of the name of this device. So I have to go back and change to this one in the properties. Then I have to... like, and then same thing with over there. If I do it over here and then bring it over here, it does not work that well for, like, overall. If you just see, like, just plush and stuffed animals in the background, that's fine. It's like, I mean, no, they're not really stuffed animals. Okay, well, Misty gets me stuffed animals for, like, holidays. So there's, like, Christmas one, Valentine's Day one, Christmas one, and then a Nutcracker back there. And then there's another one that I think I got for birthday. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember all of them. I'm sorry, but there's... Microsoft Windows is not responding. End process. What did I think would happen there? I don't know what I thought would happen there, but there's just a blue screen. Is it the blue screen of death? Because for some reason blue screen of death doesn't render on the TV, it only renders on the laptop. I don't know. Let's wait. Looks like I'm trying to launch Gmod right now. My screen's just blue. I will give this 2 minutes, to which if it does not work, I will restart it. I love this laptop. You know what? Let's do something fun. I mentioned Magic last time. I'm going to go over my deck list for Xanathar. My in-person deck. My actual deck list. Deck list is what cards are in it, by the way. So let's make my Xanathar deck list, or tell you all what it is online. Note, I have tokens, obviously. I just have a shit ton of treasure tokens, and specifically the 3 venturing into the dungeon tokens. So, this is my commander deck list for Xanathar Guild Kingpin, because I know we'll have enough time to do that. Now, this is not competitive, but there are infinites in it. So, there will be some times where I say this card can be swapped out for it. What the fuck? I thought I felt like a bug. It was just plastic. My apple bag. I got a bag of apples down there. Continuing on, though, what was I saying? Okay. I will say when other cards can be swapped for another card, because I don't own the card yet, so hold on. This is actually a pretty budget deck, to be honest. There's not, like, no cards in here that are over $2 instead of one Casey got me as a gift. Okay. So, Xanathar Guild Kingpin, Commander, deck list. I'm not going to show them on camera, I'm just going to read them out. Sorry about that, but I'll read out what the card does every time I say one. Like some of my nail. Dismal Blackwater, or Backwater. Dismal Backwater is a land. It enters tapped. You gain a life when it comes out. It's black or blue. Very simple. Mana Leak. It's a 1 colorless, 1 blue. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3, and it's an instant. Thought Vessel. 2 colorless. You have no maximum hand size. Tap to add colorless. It's an artifact. Swamp. It's the one from the Innistrad boxes. Swamp from Into the Forgotten Realms. Lantern of Insight. Okay, this one's actually one of the more expensive ones because it's actually really good. It's a 1 colorless. It's an artifact, and each player plays with the top card of his or her library revealed. Tap it, sacrifice it, and target player shuffles his or her library. Brainstorm. 1 blue. Draw 3 cards. My computer's doing its own thing. I can see my background. Draw 3 cards and put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library. It's an instant. Vorpal Sword. 1 black. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gains +2/+0 and has Death Touch. 5 colorless, 3 black. Until end of turn, Vorpal Sword gains whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to player. That player loses the game. Equip 2 black. Horde Robber. 1 colorless, 1 black. Whenever Horde Robber deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. It's a 1/3. Spectral Searchlight. 3 colorless. Tap artifact, or it's an artifact. Tap it. Choose player. That player adds 1 mana of any color they choose. I use that to play Group Hug. Sage Owl. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Flying. 1/1 creature bird. Whenever Sage Owl comes into play, look at the top 4 cards of your library and put them back in any order. This don't matter, but Horde Robber is a creature tiefling rogue. I don't know if I said that. Commander Spear. 3 colorless, artifact. Tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Sacrifice Commander Spear, draw a card. Giga Drowse. 1 blue, instant, replicate, blue. Whenever, basically, replicate means if you pay more blue, this effect will trigger multiple times. 1 blue, draw a card. Every blue you pay, you draw a card. Or no, it's tap target permanent. Sorry, not draw a card. And that's Giga Drowse, right? Yep. Next, Cunning Rhetoric. Okay, this one I actually had to try and get from my shop, but our local shop didn't have it, so I had to order it. Cunning Rhetoric, 2 colorless, 1 black. Whenever an opponent attacks you... Oh, it's an enchantment, by the way. Whenever an opponent attacks you and or one of your planeswalkers you control, exile the top card of their library. You can spend mana as if it were any color to cast it. And you can play it at any time, as long as it remains exiled. So it's never... As long as this card's on the field, you know... You just get to play anything that you exile with it at any time, and it's pretty powerful. I'm going to go ahead and try opening Skyrim now, and then if it says SkyUI is not installed, which, by the way, SkyUI was actually working when it was going, but I'm going to have to make sure I get it installed, the update for it, because that's bullshit. Next, Gold Vein Pick, 2 colorless artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. I know it from memory because how often I use it. Equip 1. Artifact equipment. It's from Kaldheim. Hissing Miasma. 1 colorless, 2 black. Whenever it's enchantment, whenever a creature attacks you, its controller loses 1 life. So per creature, they lose a life. Leyline of the Void. This is half of an infinite. 2 colorless, 2 black. Enchantment. If Leyline of the Void is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. If a card would be put into your opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. Snow-covered island. By the way, I'm going to swap all the lands for snows except for the Innistrad lands. Wither Crown. I almost skipped over this one because of how much it's not the best. 1 colorless, 1 black. Enchantment Aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature is a base power of 0, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life unless you sacrifice this creature. Which, that sucks if they give tokens to said creature. Ice Tunnel. Snowland. Island Swamp. Tap, add black or blue. Ice Tunnel enters the battlefield tapped. Very simple, very simple. Grim Bounty, 2 colorless, 2 black. Sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker, create a treasure token. Very good. Crux of Fate, very good as well, unless they have specifically a card called Maskwood Nexus out that makes creatures 1 of every type. And I'll read out why now, because I always forget to do it in the very specific way. 3 colorless, 3 black, it's a sorcery. Choose 1, destroy all dragon creatures or destroy all non-dragon creatures. Obviously, the pick here is destroy all non-dragon creatures, because I don't know anyone besides Misty who's making a dragon deck. However, if they have a card called Maskwood Nexus out, they're 1 of every creature type. So everything is a dragon, so destroying all non-dragons does not work. So you have to specify dragons if they have changelings out, basically. Swamp. Maddening Cacophony, half of an infinite. So 1 colorless, 1 blue. Sorcery, kicker, 3 colorless, 1 blue. Kicker means if you pay the... Actually, I'll just read it. Each opponent mills 8 cards. That's pretty good alone. But if this spell is kicked, instead each opponent mills half their library, rounded up. Very good. I'll show you why the infinite's there in a second. Rise Again. It's not really an infinite, but it just... You'll see. It's half of a combo that can win the game. Rise Again. 4 colorless, 1 black. Sorcery, return target creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Cancel. 1 colorless, 2 blue. Instant, counter target spell. Simple. Nevinyrral's Disc. Now, you probably hear me call this Nerval's Disc, but it's Nevinyrral's Disc. 4 colorless artifact. Enters the play tapped, and then you pay 1, it destroys all artifact, creatures, and enchantments on the field. Shimmering Drift Veil, Snowland. Enters the battlefield tapped. As Shimmer Drift Veil enters the battlefield, choose a color. This card counts as that color, and will tap for mana of said color. Okay, there's 2 cards here. We can either now the proxy that it's supposed to act as is Rhystic Study. That's just a common magic card. It's 2 colorless, 1 blue. It's an enchantment. If an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. So, and that's 1 colorless, or 1 of any color. So if you ever hear someone ask, do you pay the 1? This is the card that does it. However, the card under it, which Isaac gave me, is also half of an infinite. Rhystic Study's not half of an infinite, but the other cards I mentioned are. Thopter Assembly. Flying. It's a artifact creature. It costs 6. Flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control no Thopters other than Thopter Assembly, return Thopter Assembly to its owner's hand and put 5/1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creatures Put 5/1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. Okay. So here's the half of the infinite. Whenever I find it, I'll tell you. So just keep that in mind that you make 5 Thopters if the only one you control is this one. And then you put it back in your hand. Swamp. Evil Twin. 2 colors, 1 blue, 1 black. Creature shapeshifter. You have... Oh, by the way, I want it to be Rhystic Study, and then I'm going to move Thopter Assembly and its other counterpart into the deck somewhere else. Probably swapping out, I don't know, I'll figure it out when I get to it. Creature Shapeshifter. You may have Evil Twin enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it gains black-blue. Pay that much, tap it, destroy target creature with the same name as this creature. It's a 0/0. Opt. 1 blue, instant. Sorcery. Scry 1, draw a card. Easy. Snow-covered forest, reliquary tower, land. You have no maximum hand size. Taps for colorless. Soul ring. 1 colorless artifact. Taps for 2 colorless. Dark ritual. Black instant. Add 3 black to your mana pool. Contact other plane. 3 colorless, 1 blue. Roll a d20, it's an instant. Roll a d20, 1 through 9, draw 2 cards. 10 through 19, scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Then 20, scry 3, and draw 3 cards. That's about half the deck so far. Yes, this is how long my Skyrim's taken to open. So, sorry about that. Wizard class. This is also meant to dramatize how often... by the way, these sleeves you're seeing, Isaac gave me. Wizard class. 1 colorless. Gain the next level as this... Oh, it's a enchantment class. Gain the next level as a sorcery or 2 add its ability. At the start, you have no maximum hand size. 2 colorless, 1 blue. When this class becomes level 2, draw 2 cards. And then level 3, which is 4 colorless, 1 blue. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Island. I'm an idiot. Fly. Enchantment aura. 1 colorless, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature is flying, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, venture into the dungeon. Swamp. Codex Shredder. 1 colorless, artifact. Tap, target player mills a card, and then pay 5, tap, sacrifice Codex Shredder, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. It can be any card. Miscast. 1 colorless, instant. Counter target instant or sorcery spell, and this sure pays 3. By the way, the ideal turn 1 for this is getting 1 land, Soul Ring, Lantern of Insight, Codex Shredder, all on turn 1. Heartless Act. 1 colorless, 1 black, instant. Choose 1, destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from target creature. Shambling Ghast. 1 black, creature zombie. So 1/1, whenever Shambling Ghast dies, choose 1. Brave the Stench. Target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn, or search the body, create a treasure token, which is what I use it for. Island. Opal Palace. Land. Tap for colorless, or pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. If you spend this mana to cast your commander, it enters the battlefield with the number of 1/1 counters, additional 1/1 counters on it, equal to the number of times it's been cast from the command zone this game. Goddamn. Other half of Leyline of the Void. Helm of Obedience. 4 colorless. Also, it's like a pretty expensive card. It's over 50. Artifact. This is the one Casey got me for, I believe, Christmas or birthday. Don't remember which one, but thank you, Casey. They happen around the same time, by the way. When I say that, my birthday's literally December 10th. It's right next to Christmas. It's usually whenever I get stuff, it's just bulked together. That's why I'm not trying to be disrespectful by saying that. It's just that's what I like. It's meh. Anyways, pay X. Okay, I'm gonna from memory read what this one does because it's old speak. It's a very older card. No, I'm not. I'm gonna read it. Fuck. I don't ever use its ability for what it's actually for, so I'm gonna have to read this carefully. Can Vorpal? What is this called? Vortex work? Because it's not working. Hold on, I'm gonna close it and retry again. Anyways, tap, or pay X, tap. Put the top card of target opponent's library into his or her graveyard. Continue doing this until you put X cards or a creature card from that into that graveyard, whichever occurs first. If the last card put into the graveyard is a creature card, bury Helm of Obedience, which means exile, I think, or it means graveyard, I don't know, and put that creature card into play under your control as though it were just cast. X cannot be equal to 0. How I use it, because it's definitely not like that. Or, well, I do use it like that, except you just pay 1 into it with the Leyline of the Void. Okay. It's updating now. Leyline of the Void, you pay 1 into it, or no, with Leyline of the Void out, pay 1 into this, tap it, and then this says do it until they hit the graveyard. There's no graveyard for them to hit, so their entire library is exiled. Next card. Whispering Madness, 2 colorless, 1 blue, 1 black. Sorcery. Each player discards his or her hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards that a player discarded this way. And then Cipher, which means put it on a target creature on the field when it dies. Repeat the effect. Replicating Ring. 3 colorless, snow artifact, tap, and 1 mana of any color. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a night counter on Replicating Ring. Then if it has 8 or more night counters on it, remove all of them and create 8 colorless snow artifact tokens named Replicating Ring with tap, add 1 mana of any color. So late game, shit ton of mana. Feign Deaf, 1 black, instant. Oh, the other card that goes in my opening hand for the ideal hand is Mishra's Bauble. It's a 0-drop. I'll get to it when I get to it. Also, if I have Mana Crypt in the deck, which I don't, but that would be the next one for the ideal first opening hand. Feign Deaf, 1 black, instant. Until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a 1/1 counter on it. Bar the Gate, 2 colorless, 1 blue, not black, sorry. Instant, counter target creature, planeswalker spell, venture into the dungeon. Unsummon, pay 1, instant, return target creature to its owner's hand. Paradox Haze, very important card if playing multiplayer. Have not played multiplayer in weeks, so this card has never came in handy for me. Unless you're using Replicating Ring, which you can double the counters on it per turn. Paradox Haze, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Enchantment Aura. Enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's first upkeep each turn, that player gets an additional upkeep step after this step. The reason why that's important, Xanathar picks one opponent per upkeep to take top cards off the top of their deck and play them. I can pick 2 people now. Okay, here's the Time Sieve, or not Time Sieve, well it is Time Sieve, but here's the other half of Thopter Assembly and the other half of Maddening Cacophony, because this is the other 2 infinites. Vruvak the Grand Delinquent. 2 colorless and 1 blue. Legendary creature, human advisor. Opponents mill twice the normal amount that they would mill whenever they do mill. It's a proxy, so I have it written weird, but it's the same effect. It's a 1/4. Maddening Cacophony makes them mill half of their deck. Mill their entire deck. They lose the game if they can't draw any cards on their turn. I pass. They'd lose immediately, and then they pass, and then they lose immediately. You see what I mean? And it's only opponents, not me. Time Sieve, which is the half of Thopter Assembly. 1 blue, 1 black. Artifact. Sacrifice 5 artifacts. After you tap Time Sieve, take an additional turn after this one. That's how you get infinite turns. So yeah, when I sit down at a table, I'm like, look, I can play with the proxies for infinite mill and heuristic study, or I can play infinite turns. Up to you. And from what Casey said, who's my cousin, who's been playing Magic for years, he says it's way easier to deal with infinite mill, apparently, than it is infinite turns. I trust his word. You can argue that if you want in the comments, I guess, but I trust his word. Lofty Denial. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Instant, counter target creature spell, or counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. If you control a creature with flying, counter that spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. Lightfoot Rogue. 1 colorless, 1 black. This is going to be one of the longer ones. Creature, human rogue. It's a 2/1 sneak attack. Whenever it attacks, roll a d20. 1 through 9 gains Death Touch till end of turn. 10 through 19 it gains 1/0 in Death Touch till end of turn. And 20 gets +3 in first strike and Death Touch till end of turn. Swamp. Deliberate. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Instant. Scry 2, draw a card. Messing with Skyrim. I'm going to hit fix because it's saying files may not get loaded correctly, because fuck Bethesda. Thank you, Bethesda, for making the game, but please, for the love of God, stop updating it, or make the updates optional. Like, what is so hard about that? We want our games to work, my guy. Mind Flayer, 3 colorless, 2 blue. Creature Horror. Dominate it's a 3/3. Dominate monster. When Mind Flayer enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature for as long as you control Mind Flayer. Pretty beneficial, actually. Swamp Propaganda. Okay, this one's another one that's like taxing opponents for attacking me, because you've noticed there's been a couple of those so far. 2 colorless, 1 blue. Enchantment. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Triskaidekaphile. 1 colorless, 1 blue, human wizard, 1/3. You have no maximum hand size at the beginning of your upkeep. If you control exactly 13 cards in your hand, or you have 13 cards in your hand, you win the game. 3 colorless, 1 blue, draw a card. So there's another win con. Sky Diamond, 2 colorless, artifact, enters the battlefield taps for blue. Grazalax, Affiliate Scholar, 1 colorless, 2 blue. And I have Nilahor, which is another Mind Flayer in my Centriplets box, where I'm trying to convert this to Centriplets. So that's really fun. Grazalax, Affiliate Scholar, 1 colorless, 2 blue. Legendary creature, Horror, 3/2. Whenever creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Command Tower. Tap, add one to your mana pool. It's a land. Add any color of mana and your commander's color identity to your mana pool. I summarized it. That's not exactly what it says, but that's the effect. Charcoal Diamond. Sky Diamond with black. 2 colorless. Artifact. Comes into play taps for black. Power Word Kill. 1 colorless, 1 black. Instant. Destroy target non-angel, non-demon, non-devil, non-dragon creature. Very specific, but it works. Swamp Island. Checking my downloads. Okay, I'm hitting play. Let's see if it says Sky UI is not going to work, because if it does, I'm going to go fix that. Okay, this one I actually want to show off because I got it. It is Hall of the Storm Giants, which I will now read. It's based on one of the old D&D modules, and I love the design of it. Hall of the Storm Giants. Land. If you control 2 or more other lands, Hall of the Storm Giants enters the battlefield tapped. So you gotta play it early game, preferably. Actually, this would be the good hand to get at the start, or the good land to get at the start, next to like Command Tower or Reliquary Tower. Those are the 3 lands I'd want to get at the start. Tap, add blue. If you pay 5 and 1 blue until end of turn, Hall of the Storm Giants comes a 7/7 blue giant creature token, or not creature token, but just creature with ward 3. It's still a land. I've never used that ability in game, by the way. Telepathy, 1 blue. Enchantment, your opponents play with their hands revealed. Very good to have opening hand as well. Convolute, 2 colorless, 1 blue, instant, counter target creature spell unless they pay 4. No thank you, is its subtext, and I love that. Or its flavor text. Tasha City's Laughter, 1 colorless, 2 blue. I pulled this card, I'm so happy I did. It's like $12 I think, or at the time it was. It was pretty high expensive. Sorcery, each opponent exiles cards from the top of his or her library, or their library, until that player has exiled cards with total mana value 20 or more, not 2 or more. Very good to exile a shit ton of things off the top of their hand, especially if they're playing a deck that they like controlling what's at the top of their library, which Xanathar is already good at controlling that anyways for them. Or this particular deck style is. Yuan-Ti Malison, 1 black, 1 blue. No, 1 colorless, 1 blue, sorry. Snake Rogue, 2/1 creature. Yuan-Ti Malison can't be blocked as though if it was attacking alone, and whenever Yuan-Ti Malison deals combat damage to a player, venture into the dungeon. Unknown Shores. Land, tap, add 1 colorless, pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. Instant. No, not instant. I keep doing that with Island. And that's what Islands are mainly used for anyway, it's just counter spells. Island. Diabolic Tutor. Isaac gave me this one. 2 colorless, 2 black. Sorcery. Search your library for a card, then put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Just a good tutor. It's my only tutor, actually. Duskmantle, House of Shadow. Land, tap, add 1 to your mana pool. Black, blue, target player mills a card. Basically, summarizing it. Island. You find the villain's lair, 1 colorless, 2 blue, instant, choose 1, foil their scheme, counter target spell, or learn their secrets, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Swamp. This one I'm going to be swapping out for specifically, there is a land, or not a land, a planeswalker that currently seems to be about $40 that I'm going to have to get. It is the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Black Blue new Ninja Planeswalker, because it makes unblockables, and I need those really badly. Also, it phases out in and out of the game, and that's just a good ability to have. So, basically, I don't think it can be damaged unless it's your turn. And with Xanathar, they can't cast spells on my turn, so that's a very good Planeswalker for this deck. I will be picking it up and replacing Deck of Many Things for it. Not that Deck of Many Things is a bad card, and I will now explain to you why. Pay 5 colorless. Put Deck of Many Things on the field. It's a legendary artifact. Pay 2, tap it, roll a d20, and then subtract the number of cards in your hand. If the result is 0 or less, discard your hand. Oh, if the d20 roll. I thought if the number of cards in hand. It's been a while since I've used this. Negative, or not negative, I almost said -9. It's 1 through 9. Sorry. Return a card at random from your graveyard to your hand. If you only have 1 card in your graveyard, this is very useful. 10 through 19, draw 2 cards. 20. Now you can only get if you don't have any cards in hand. 20. Put a creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. When that creature dies, its owner loses the game. In 1v1s, take a creature card out of their graveyard. Boom, you win. Also, Sky UI works now. Okay. So, what I'm seeing here, mod configuration menu, Sky UI. Skyrim or not Skyrim DLCs, but Skyrim live streams may be a thing now. Just saying. I feel like that would be really fun. What mods do we even have active right now? No, don't log me into BethesdaNet. I hate you. Loading mods. Okay, you can do that. I'll just go to my mod list on Vortex. What am I doing? Yeah, straight up, all my mods right now. Mage's Gauntlets, knockoff Infinity Gauntlet, Hoth Follower, which is just a really famous follower mod, Heart of Thunder, which is Thor, Tavern Games, Mihal mods. So Mihal is a guy who makes creatures from maybe other games, other Skyrim, other Scrolls games specifically, and he makes some custom ones. They're all creatures. So we got Dwarven Power Armor is something he's made, and then we have a whole bunch of different creature mod that he's installed as well, or that I've installed by him as well. Infinity Gauntlet mod, more, like at least 20 of his mods I have installed right now for more creatures. Okay, here we go. Beholder is one of them too, and I love that. Undeath, which is the necromancy mod I mentioned. Bat of Skyrim, which is Batman. Sky UI, more necro mods, unofficial Skyrim special edition patch. That's my mods. So if I ever do that, that'll be easy to read out. So let's go ahead and quit to desktop because I just wanted to see if the Sky UI worked and I had to install it while I was streaming. Rogue class, colorless. Okay, so it's an enchantment class like wizard class. And there's also warlock class in here, but black blue. Gain the next level is sorcery to continue it. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library face down. You may look at it, they cannot. Pretty good. 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 blue. Creatures you control have menace, and you level up to level 2. And level 3 is 2 colorless, 1 black, 1 blue. You may play cards exiled with rogue class, and you may spend mana as though were any card to cast those spells. Very good. You see what my whole deck's based around. I should also read off Xanathar when I'm done. I didn't do that this stream, but I did in a previous one. Brink of Disaster, 2 colorless, 2 black. Enchantment aura. Enchant creature or land. Enchanted permanent becomes tapped, destroy it. This and Wither Crown is what I'd remove for Time Sieve and the Thopter Assembly. There you go. If you're making the deck, there you go. And then obviously the Rhystic Study and Brewback would be where they would be in the list. Poison the Cup. 1 colorless, 2 black. Isaac gave me this one. Instant. Destroy target creature if the spell was foretold, scry 2. Foretell, 1 black, 1 colorless. Path of Ancestry, land. When Path of Ancestry enters the battlefield tapped. Tap it. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature with the same creature type as your commander, scry 1. So, really only useful to cast Xanathar, but still pretty good. Cridle of Baldur's Gate, black, blue. Legendary creature, elf, human, rogue. This guy's a beast. 1/3. Whenever Cridle of Baldur's Gate deals combat damage to a player, that player loses 1 life and mills a card, and then you gain 1 life and scry a card. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2. If you do, target creature cannot be blocked this turn. The second ability is what I mainly use, but I use it on him usually, and it's pretty good. Like, combo that with Vorpal Sword, you get an instant death if you can have enough mana to pull all that off. Mishra's Bauble, here we go, 0 drop. Artifact, just tap, sacrifice Mishra's Bauble, look at the top card of that target player's library, draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. Swamp. Web of Inertia, another tax attack card. 2 colorless, 1 blue. Enchantment. At the beginning of each opponent's combat phase, that player may remove a card from his or her graveyard from the game. So, remove a card from their graveyard, otherwise they physically cannot attack me, and it has to be at the start of their combat, not after combat or during. Wizard class, 1 black. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. 1 colorless, 1 black, level 2. When this class becomes level 2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, and the rest of them into your graveyard. And I stop using it after that because the next one is pay 7 mana, 6 colorless, 1 black. Beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. Not that good, because I don't usually win through combat, because I'm trying to get an infinite or get Vorpal Sword out. But it can be neat. Rupture Spire. Rupture Spire is a land, enters battlefield tapped. Whenever it comes out, sacrifice unless you pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. I don't really like this one that much, but it's okay. Snow-Covered Island. Train of Thought. That's a very late game land that I would want, not early game. Train of Thought. Did I mention the Snow-Covered Island? Anyways, Train of Thought. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Sorcery, replicate 1 colorless, 1 blue. Draw a card. That's this one that you pay more to draw. Essence Scatter. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Instant counter target creature spell. Library Larcenist is 2 colorless, 1 blue. Creature Merfolk Rogue. 1/2. Whenever Library Larcenist attacks, draw a card. Latinum's Legacy, which is instant. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Shuffle a card from your hand into your library. If you do draw 2 cards at the beginning of next turn's upkeep, that does not mean your turn. That means your opponent's, like, the next turn in the row. Same with Mishra's Bauble, which I did not know when I was originally playing that. Phantom Warrior, which is 1 colorless, 2 blue. Creature Illusion, 2/2. Phantom Warrior is unblockable. Last but not least, I never read Xanathar. Xanathar Guild Kingpin is 4 colorless, 1 blue, 1 black. Legendary creature Beholder. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. Until end of turn, that player casts spells. You may look at the top card of their library at any time, and you may play the top card of their library. And you may use mana as that were spent of any color to cast it this way. Or, I jumbled that, but you know what I mean. 5/6. I also forgot that doesn't make everyone not be able to attack, but that's never came unhandy during, during gameplay. So that's fun. So that's the whole deck. And that's all the adjustments I would make. given the chance. And now I know Skyrim works completely fine, so we may be doing some streams of that soon, where I will read out my mod list. I will say, by the way, I turned off the necromancy mod, or not the necromancy mod, but the Ash vs. Evil Dead book mod off, mainly because of the fact that the Soul Karen spawns 3 of them by accident. Because it's supposed to spawn randomly in one of the 3 chests where the big guys are, but instead it does 1 in each because the mod creator didn't. It's not his fault. Like, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at a mod creator. Anyways, I'm not like upset about it. It's just more of like a. It bugs me. Maybe 2. I like having one on my bookshelf and one actually read, but you know what I mean. Hold on, I'm reading through. Let me launch that again and see what mods are turned on, because I just saw one that kind of worries me. That I didn't remember I had, but I didn't see it in the list. Is just Samara, Skyrim port. For those of you who don't know, Samara is the fucking demon from The Ring, but just the American version of it. So, and she's also coming to Dead by Daylight soon, with her original Japanese name, though. But that's fine. I'm not sad about that. I just don't know what it is off the top of my head. Point is, though, I have that mod installed. I know it's Mihal mods. That's why I haven't installed, but I didn't see it in my mod list, which means it's not popping up, and that's sad for me because I want it to be on. And yeah, let's see if it is. Load order, I guess. Yeah, Samara's right there. Holy shit. Yeah, everything's on. I turned off one of them, but I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to go into it, but it's one of Mihal's mods ones. I don't know. I just didn't see some of the names of the ones that I was looking through my actual list for, and I didn't see them, so I was like, are they there? But they are. It's just in my mod list, they're not called Mihal mods. They're just called... The ESP file for it has his name on it, but not the actual mod itself. Yeah, that's my Xanathar deck. I just went through the whole list of, like the deck list for it. That's the way I play Xanathar. And I enjoy that, by the way. I know it could be better. I know there's a lot of improvements that could be made, but that is genuinely what I enjoy about it. It's just a cool deck. I like playing it. And it's pretty good. It's a little low on lands, I will say. Definitely could, like, if you have more money, obviously you could swap out, like, I'd say an island or a swamp for one of the original dual lands, and then whichever one you took out. So if you took out an island, take out a swamp then, or if you took out a swamp, take out an island for, like, Mana Crypt, obviously, or Mana Vault, preferably Mana Crypt. But yeah, that is my Xanathar deck, and also I'm done with Skyrim for now, so I actually have nothing to do right now. I'm just gonna kick back, relax, and drink water to stay hydrated, because you should always be doing that. We are almost at 2 hours of my stream, and it is 4:04. I'm gonna keep going a little bit, because I'm having fun. Feels weird having this computer be on, the other one too, just because I'm like, there's some things I need to do, like my book for the D&D thing. However, I have to call Misty here in a little bit, and I don't like focusing on writing the book or transferring things over to the book while I'm on the phone with her, because I want to make sure I'm actually giving her all my goddamn attention and not trying to focus on something else, because that's rude. I don't want to be rude. Got some good water. My leg is asleep again. That's also the other reason I'm not standing up right now. I sit crisscross applesauce on this couch, and it's fun sometimes. But then, God, I tried moving it up. Hold on. Oh God. Not fun. Not fun. Pins and needles, not fun. Hold on. Specifically the ankle. So if I put any pressure on it, it's not pain, but it's also, I don't want to say it's uncomfort, but also, is this not the definition of uncomfortable? Oh god, if I move it at all. Yeah, this is uncomfort. This has got to be the definition of uncomfort. Oh god. Fun fact, I walk on my tippy toes occasionally. I used to do it all the time when I was younger. I would walk more on my tippy toes than I would on actual, like, flat. So if you ever see me doing that, it is because that is what I did when I was younger for some random reason. I can also, apparently I'm also very flexible and can put both my legs behind my head. I will not be demonstrating that on stream, but I can do it. It also sucks to do it in jeans, which I learned very quickly after I attempted doing it in jeans to show some people at school. Very fun. I also don't know if I believe this or not, but apparently there's this thing about where, okay, this is something I overheard. I don't believe this, or don't know if I don't really know the exact science behind it, but apparently what I've heard, women have a different center of gravity. This is from a girl who said this, by the way, a collection of them, and I don't think they were trying to just fuck with us. But apparently there's this thing that if you put a chair up against a wall and bend down at like see how my arm's bent? I think it's a 9 degree angle. Point is, if you do that, if you bend down just like this, whenever you're doing it, God, fucking stop. My arm is, like, cringing at the fact that my fucking leg's still half asleep. I'm not trying to flex, I'm sorry. But, here, let me try using the other one. There. Doing it like that. You bend down like this. Here's your waist. You bend down, pick up the chair, and completely stand straight up like this without, like... So apparently, men aren't supposed to be able to do that, but apparently I can. So, from what I think I just have a weird center of gravity. But it sounds whack as hell, and I don't really think that's how people work. But hey, if it is, damn. Now I'm going to go get something else real quick. Stand up and grab something real quick, because I'm going to mention some cards that I've, like, taken out of my Xanathar deck and, like, trial and error, because this is the other box that I mentioned I have. Wait, is the other one out? No, it's not. Good. I thought the other one was out of its box, or out of the shoebox, and I was like, I'm not supposed to have that out, because I don't want it out. So different cards that I've, like, pondered putting in, have had in, and then took out. Also, Isaac's given me a couple of these. So, like, Orthodontor of Paradise is a 2-colorless 0/2 artifact creature Thopter, flying, add 1 mana of any color. I don't want that in there specifically because it would mess up the infinite combo. Mordenkainen I originally had in there, the Planeswalker. I really liked using him. Isaac gave me him, and also I have the token for him. He's an amazing Planeswalker. It's just, he's so much mana, I can't get him out. I really can't. I never could. That's another reason I'm taking a deck of many things out. He's 4 colorless, 2 blue. I play 1v1, so I never have enough time to actually build up what I'm trying to do, is the problem. 4 colorless, 2 blue. Legendary Planeswalker, Mordenkainen, and he starts out with 5 loyalty counters. +2, draw 2 cards and put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. -2, create a blue dog illusion creature token with this creature's power and toughness are equal to twice the number of cards in your hand. Pretty good. And then -10 is exchange your hand with your library, then shuffle. You get an emblem if you have no maximum hand size. Incredibly good, but I can never get him out, and then he never will live long enough for him to stay out. These are some random commons that I have in here. Occasionally you'll see stuff like that, like Fellstinger is 2 colorless, 1 black, creature zombie scorpion, 3/2, Death Touch with Exploit. Whenever Fellstinger exploits a creature, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Mausoleum Secrets, it's an instant, 1 colorless, 1 black. Undergrowth, search your library for a black card. If converted mana cost less or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, reveal it and put it in your hand and shuffle your library. It's a weird tutor. Finishing Blow, 4 colorless, 1 black. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. It's an instant. Scattered Thoughts is 3 colorless, 1 blue. Instant, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of those cards in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. And then Dig Through Time is 6 colorless and 2 blue. That is an insane mana cost that I will never reach in the games, because I never get enough mana for it, personally, in my opinion. But anyways, Instant Delve. Look at the top 7 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on your bottom of your library in any order. I still don't know what Delve does, but I'll figure it out. Oh, here's the proxy I used for Triskaidekaphile for a bit. I used that as a proxy because I was like, ooh, that with Rhystic Study is pretty good. Also, Rhystic Study is just a great card. Okay, so we got, next, we have Remove Soul. 2 colorless, 1 blue, instant, counter target creature spell specifically. Guild Thief, 1 colorless, 1 blue. This is back when I was trying to make it all rogue based, which is 1/1. Whenever Guild Thief deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. It's actually really good, but still, I took it out. Cunning Action, 3 colorless, 1 blue. Guild Thief cannot be blocked this turn. Better unblockables. Island. Why's an island in here? Oh, I swapped it for the Innistrad version, that's why. Reaper's Talisman. This also used to be definitely in it. 1 black, because I made people not want to block because of Death Touch. But then Vorpal Sword, the only reason I don't want them to block, already has Death Touch. Artifact Equipment, whenever a Crypt Creature attacks, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. That's the problem right there. Whenever a Crypt Creature attacks alone, defending player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It's equipped 2. Soul Knife Spy, creature elf rogue. It's 2 colorless, 1 blue. Whenever Soul Knife Spy deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, 3/2. Nihilahor. Okay, so this is another legendary creature. He's 2 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black. Remember, Sun Triplets is black, or it has white in it, and would allow me to use Nihilahor. Or it's actually Nihilahor, but like I just say Nihilahor because it's quicker. Anyways, he's legendary creature horror. 3/5. Whenever he enters the battlefield, for each opponent, tap up to 1 untapped creature you control. When you do, can control a target creature that player controls at power less than or equal to the number of tapped creatures. Power, as long as you control Nihilahor. Whenever you attack with a creature an opponent owns, you gain 2 life and that player loses 2 life. It's just a little bit of extra problems for them to deal with. 3 colorless, 1 blue, 1 black. Sphinx Summoner, 3/3. Artifact creature Sphinx. It has flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, search your library for an artifact creature card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. Gyruda, Doom of Deaths, 4 colorless, 1 black, 1 blue. Wait, no. Black blue or black blue, twice. 6/6. Legendary creature Demon Kraken. Companion, your starter deck only contains cards with even converted mana costs. Can be tricky at times, so nothing with 3, 5, 1. Is 0 even or odd? I'm a dumbass. It's probably even, because, like, is 0 even or odd? Yeah, even number. Okay, good. That's what I thought. Like I said, I thought it was even. I'm not a dumbass. I thought it was even. But also, that never comes up. Anyways. It can be your companion only if you have even converted mana costs. When Gyruda enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library onto the battlefield, or into their graveyard. Put a creature card from even converted mana costs from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Pretty good. I have a second Maddening Cacophony and did not know that. Misty, you might be getting this, if you do not have it already. Pixie Guide, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Creature Fairy, 1/3. This used to be in there because it had flying. Gain the advantage. If you roll 1 or more dice, instead roll that many dice plus 1 and ignore the lowest roll. Trickster's Talisman, 1 blue. Artifact Equipment. Invoke Duplicity. A crypt creature gets 1/1, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice Trickster's Talisman, and if you do, create a token that's an exact copy of this creature. Equip 2. Pretty good. This one used to be in it and completely wrecked Jack by being a 50/50 one time. Westgate Regent, I took it out because of how many mana it was. It's 3 colorless, 2 black. Creature Vampire, it's a 4/4. Ward, discard a card, so then no spells can target it if you discard a card. Whenever Westgate Regent deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on it. It's a 4/4. Then it becomes an 8/8. Then it becomes a 16/16. Then it becomes a... keeps going. That's online with the Quartzwood Crasher plan I had, which, by the way, I combined one of the Hellbonder or Heatbonder cards with it because it made Trample creatures have Menace, which is a great ability. And my commander had Trample too, so it was also flying, so it was pretty good. Prothetic Prism, 2 colorless, artifact. Whenever Prothetic Prism enters the battlefield, draw a card, pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. Could put it in there, I don't know. Pixie Guide again, but a weird art. Not a weird art, special art. I like that art, it's not weird. Expedition Skulker. 1 colorless, 1 black. 2/2 vampire creature rogue. I said that out of order. It has Death Touch as long as you control another rogue. Back when I was making a big rogue deck. Divination. 2 colorless, 1 blue. Sorcery. Draw 2 cards. Murder. 1 blue. No. 1 colorless, 2 black. Instant. Destroy target creature. Didn't say please. 1 colorless, 2 blue. Instant. Counter target spell. Its controller puts the top 3 cards of the library into their graveyard. Dacra Mystic, 1 blue. Creature, Merfolk Wizard, 1/1. Pay 1 blue. Each player reveals the top card of his or her library. You may put the revealed cards in their into their owner's graveyards. If you don't, they draw a card, or each player draws a card. God damn, that was clusterfuck. It's actually not that bad, but still. Ruinous Path, 1 colorless, 2 blue. Sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Awaken 4. Pay 5 colorless, 2 black. If you cast a spell for 5 colorless, 2 black, put a 4/1/1 counters on target land you control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It is still land. Westgate Regent, did not know I had 2 of those cards. Very good card. This one's actually foil. God damn, very good card. Djinni Windseeker, 3 colorless, 1 blue. I definitely had this in the original deck. Flying, whenever Djinni Windseeker enters the battlefield, roll a d20. Oh, it's 3/3, by the way. I don't know if I already said that. I feel like I said the exact sentence. Anyways, 1 through 9, scry 1, 10 through 19, scry 2, 20, scry 3, and it's also a Djinni, creature Djinn. Don't know if I said that already. Yuan-Ti Fangblade, 2 colorless, 1 black. Creature Snake Rogue, Death Touch, 2/2. Whenever Yuan-Ti Fangblade deals damage to a player ventured into the dungeon. Armory of Ironis, it's 2 colorless, artifact equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it, equip 2. Sudden Insight, 4 colorless, 2 blue. Draw a card for each. It's an instant. Draw a card for each different converted mana cost among value cards in your graveyard. Goddamn. Drelnok. Okay, yeah, this one's fun. I love this card. Goddamn, I love this card. There's so many jokes to make about it. We even made a fake commander variant of it. Drelnok, 4 colorless, 1 blue. Drelnok is a creature Yeti mutant. Also very good for a Velo's Guide to Monster deck. Or Velo's Guide to Monsters deck. Because he is, like, so unique with his creature types. He's very useful for it. Just heads up. Whenever Drelnok becomes blocked, you may draw 2 cards as a 3/3. Very expensive of a creature. Not that actual good, but it's a joke in our, like, friend group, so... Drelnok. Vacuum Melt, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Sorcery, replicate 2 colorless, 1 blue. Return target creature card to its owner's hand. Is what that is. There's a card behind it called Rune Boggle, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1, draw a card. Frost Breath, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Instant, tap 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't tap during the controller's next untap step. That's actually really good, but I took it out because I wasn't facing combat decks at the time. War Room, land, tap, add 1 colorless. 3 colorless, tap, pay life equal the number of colors in your commander's card identity, draw a card. Fraying Omnipotence is also a very good card for the ideas. I took it out because it just became a hassle to deal with at that point, because it's 3 colorless, 2 black, sorcery. Each player loses half their life, then discards half the cards in their hand, then sacrifices half the creatures they control, rounded up each time. That ended up being a detriment when I put stuff like Triskaidekaphile in, and also I just don't want to sacrifice any of my creatures usually. Blood Beckoning, 1 black, sorcery, kicker 3. Return target creature card from a graveyard to your hand. If the spell is kicked, instead return 2 target creature cards from the graveyard to your hand. Memory Leak, 3, but 2 colorless, 1 black, sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from that player's graveyard or hand and exile it, cycling 1. Charm Sleep, 1 colorless, 2 blue, enchantment aura. Enchant creature, when Charm Sleep enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature is not untapped during its shore untap step. Dehydration, 3 colorless, 1 blue. Enchant creature. Enchant creature is not untapped during its shore's untap step. Same thing, but it has to be tapped first. Palladium Mirror, 3 colorless, artifact creature mirror, 2/2, tap, add 2. Sunset Pyramid, 2 colorless, artifact, whenever it enters the battlefield, put 3 brick counters on it. 2 colorless, tap, remove a brick counter from Sunset Pyramid, draw a card. Pay 2, tap it, scry 1. Jalum Tome, 3 colorless, artifact, pay 2, draw a card, and discard a card. Casting of Bones, 2 colorless, 1 black, enchanted creature. When enchanted creature is put into a graveyard, draw 3 cards and discard 1 of them. Gelatinous Cube, 2 colorless, 2 black, creature ooze. It's a 4/3 engulf. When Gelatinous Cube enters the battlefield, exile target non-ooze creature token and opponent controlled until Gelatinous Cube leaves the battlefield. Dissolve, X, 1 black, put target creature card with converted mana value X, exiled with Gelatinous Cube into its owner's graveyard. Shattering Skeletons, 3 colorless, 1 black, creature skeleton, whenever it dies, venture into the dungeon, it's a 4/3. You see a guard approach, 1 blue, Instant, choose one, distract the guard, tap target creature, hide target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. We're past halfway through, by the way. After this, I'm probably going to be done with this room. I definitely trying to get the Sin triplets, but I'm not sure where they're at in the box. Prismite, 2 colorless, artifact creature Golem, tap 2, add 1 mana of any color, pay 2, add 1 mana of any color, and then it's a 2/1. Teferi's Protege, 2 colorless, 1 blue, human creature wizard. I do that all the time by doing that backwards, I apologize. It's a 2/3, 1 colorless, 1 blue, tap, draw a card, and then discard a card. Gust of Wind, 3 colorless, 1 blue, sorcery. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand, draw a card. Spiketail Hatchling, 1 colorless, 1 blue, creature drake, 1/1 flying. Sacrifice Spiketail Hatchling, counter target spell unless the destroyer pays 1. Crystal Seer, 4 colorless, 1 blue, 2/2, creature Vidalcan Wizard. Whenever Crystal Seer comes into play, look at the top 4 cards of your library and put them back in any order. Pay 4 and 1 blue, return Crystal Seer to its owner's hand. Perilous Drop, or Precipitous Drop, sorry. 2 colorless, 1 black, enchanted creature Aura. Enchantment Aura, enchant creature when it enters the battlefield, venture into the dungeon, enchanted creature gets menace, -2, not menace. -2, -2. God, I did it again. Keep trying to say minus. -2, -2, -2. It gets -5, -5 instead as long as you've completed a dungeon. We will not talk about this. Nightshade Stinger, not Nightblade, sorry. 1 black, not legendary. Fuck, why did I say legendary? It's just a creature, fairy rogue. It's a 1/1 flying. Nightshade Stinger cannot block. You see why that's not in there, because it cannot block. Gravedigger, 3 colorless, 1 black, summon zombie. It's an old card. 2/2. Whenever Gravedigger comes into play, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty good. Come to a river. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Instant, choose 1, fight the current. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Find a crossing. Target creature gets a +1/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, 4 colors, 1 blue. Creature, human elf shaman, 3/4. Psionic spells. When Aberrant Mind Sorcerer enters the battlefield, choose target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, roll a d20. 1 through 9. You may put that card on top of your library. 10 through 20. Return the card to your hand. Silver Raven, blue. Artifact creature bird, 1/1. Whenever that's flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, scry 1. Radiant Fountain is a land, and when Radiant Fountain enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life, and it taps for colorless. Capture Spear, it's an enchantment aura, 3 colorless, 1 blue, and flash enchant creature when it enters the battlefield, tap creature, and it doesn't untap during its untap step. Giga Drowse, I already explained that one in my actual deck. Have another copy of it, that's why it's in here. Twitch, 2 colorless, 1 blue. That deck pile just fell over. You may tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land, draw a card. Opt, explain that one in my actual deck. Frazzle, 3 colorless, 1 blue, instant, counter target non-blue spell. Unexpected Fangs, instant, 1 colorless, 1 black, put 1/1 counter and lifelink on target creature. Timaret, chosen from death, 2 black, legendary enchantment creature, demigod, 2 and a star. Tiamat's toughness is equal to your devotion to black, 1 colorless, 1 black. Exile 2 target cards from your graveyards, or from any graveyard. You gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way. Liliana's Devotee, 2 colorless, 1 black, 2/3 human warlock creature. Zombies you control get +1/+0, and at the beginning of your end step, if your creature dies this turn, you pay 1 black, 1 blue. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. This one was in here before I knew about the commander color rule, but Biomantic Mastery. 4 colorless, green or blue, green or blue, green or blue. Sorcery. Draw a card for each creature target player controls, and then draw cards again for another player. So this player has 6 creatures, draw 6 cards. This player has 13 creatures, draw 13 cards. Very good, but does not fit the color scheme. Flash Freeze, 1 colorless, 1 blue, counter target red or green spell specifically, and I love that. Coveted Prize, 4 colorless, 1 black. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party, which is cleric, rogue, wizard, and warrior. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. You may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its cost. That's a tutor, but it's very complicated. and I don't know if you can have multiple rogues that will boost the cost. That is why that is not in there, because I do have multiple rogues in there. Hagra Constrictor, 2 colorless, 1 black, creature snake, 0/0, enters battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has menace. Perilous Research, 1 colorless, 1 blue, instant, draw 2 cards and sacrifice a permanent. Any permanent. Anticipate, 1 colorless, 1 blue, instant. Look at the top of the cards of your library, put one in your hand and the bottom of your library in any order. Is that one in the deck? That one might be in the deck. Called the Death Dweller, 2 colorless, 1 blue. No, 1 black, sorry. Sorcery, return 2 creature cards. Okay. Return up to 2 creature cards from converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them, and then put a Menace counter on either of them. Dark Bargain, 3 colorless, 1 black. Instant, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 2 of them in your hand, and put the other into your graveyard. Dark Bargain deals 2 damage to you. Frozen Solid, 1 colorless, 2 blue. Enchantment Aura. Enchant a creature doesn't untap during its untap step. Whenever damage is dealt to enchant a creature, destroy it. Infiltrator's Mage Mark, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Enchant creature you control that are enchanted get a 1/1 and cannot be blocked except by creatures with Defender. The Black Staff of Waterdeep, legendary artifact, 1 blue. You may choose not to untap the Black Staff of Waterdeep during your untap step. Animate Walking Statue, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Tap another target non-token artifact you control. It becomes a 4/4 artifact creature as long as the Black Staff of Waterdeep remains tapped. Activate only as a sorcery. Cridle Baldur's Gate, because I have a spare copy of him. He's just good. We're almost done. Copy of Rogue Class, which I've already explained. Remove Soul, which I think I already explained, just in case I didn't. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Instant counter target creature spell. Dungeon Map, 3 colorless, tap, add 1 colorless, tap 3 colorless, tap this, adventure to the dungeon, activate only as a sorcery. Thieving Magpie. Okay, Thieving Magpie is 2 colorless, 2 blue, creature bird, flying. Whenever Thieving Magpie deals damage to opponent, draw a card. Pretty good, very expensive for a 1/3 bird. Leyline of the Void proxy. Yuan-Ti Malison, already explained. Black Staff of Waterdeep, already explained. I didn't even remember I had a copy of Staff of Waterdeep. And then finally, besides Plains, which I have here, Dark Vanishing, 2 colorless, 1 black, instant, destroy target non-black creature, it cannot be regenerated. Centriplets was at the bottom. 2 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, 3/3. Legendary artifact creature, human, wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. This turn, that player can't cast spells and activate abilities and plays with their hand revealed. You may play lands and cast spells from their hand this turn. So, instead of playing off the top of their library, you play their hands. Pretty good, pretty good. I can see why Casey is wanting me to make, or not Casey, no, not just Casey, it's Casey and Isaac in general, both want me to make that as soon as possible, because that is actually a pretty good ability. And that is my backup cards, / cards that I have to tweak out for, in and out for Xanathar and Centriplets. Notice there was only one other white card in there that isn't just a whole bunch of plains, and that's Nilahor, because I don't have very many good white cards. I have one I'm going to put in there, which is going to be the Book of Exalted Deeds, Faceless Haven, and Tyrite Sanctum combo, because fuck everyone. Hold on. Basically means I'm the only one who can win the game, unless they can get me to sacrifice a land, which I'm not going to pick that land, or they can get me to, what else? Exile target land, or return target land to my hand. So, yeah, that's fun. Because the odds of them having that are low as hell. See, I got stuff to talk about on here. How long was that for? How long have we been going so far? We've been going for 2 hours and 9 minutes. Nice. I think I am going to start streaming Skyrim soon. That'd be fun, going through and just making a character, going through all the way. I also need to keep doing Amnesia. I don't know, I might do an Amnesia stream tonight. Hell, I might do both tonight. Who fucking knows? I have to wait until after I do DBZ D&D tonight, though. which is at 7:30 or 8, and I don't know when that is. That's not being streamed though, because that's never been streamed. However, eventually one of these streams, I'm going to go back over what we've been doing in those. I'm actually going to explain all the story and stuff, because I have a whole document that I can read out for it. To which I actually need to go and update for previous sessions. So I'm going to go do that. I hope you all have a wonderful day and or night, depending on when you're watching this. And, yeah. Thanks for trying. Appreciate it.